Joey Clark.
Thank God for another beautiful day. Hopefully it'll be a beautiful show. And Montgomery, well, needs a new mayor. We got Trump saying, hey, let's be nice to North Korea. You got the GOP still yapping about socialism. You've got Apple CEO Tim Cook talking about Robertsdale and places where Apple manufacturing could actually lay down a plant. And you've got a local story here having to do with Montgomery. I saw the headline over the weekend. Montgomery man charged with prison drug trafficking. Yeah, this story was crazy. It was like pounds and pounds and pounds of marijuana. But that man charged with prison drug trafficking apparently connected to Mayor Reed touted city-funded anti-violence program. And there are a bunch of photos of this guy with like all sorts of folks, including the mayor, and all those were deleted off Facebook soon after this, and people realized it. But, anti-violence program. Well, I will say weed can be pretty great to make people docile. Now, I don't know how good it is on other, say, vectors of the soul and life and quality of life and stuff. I think maybe a little bit's not, who knows? Each to their own, I suppose, but consider your actions. So, maybe there would be less violence if there are more folks getting high. I don't know, but I don't know if they're already in the prison and they're getting high. It's probably not making them more violent, maybe more isolated and paranoid. Anyway, we'll get into the details of that in a second, but, I've been thinking about Alabama politics in this cycle we're coming up with. And thank God the primaries are over. Now, enough people didn't get out and vote on, last Tuesday, like 5%. 5% of people who are registered to vote actually went out and voted. And it looks like, especially in Alabama, Republicans are not enthusiastic about getting out there in November. We'll see how that shakes out for folks. Because at least this year, the Democrats here in Alabama have people running statewide. And they hope it's people running in a competitive manner. Now, that's it's wishful thinking on their part. But, of course, they got Doug, who's just going by Doug Jones at the top of the ticket. And then you got another fella running for lieutenant governor. The heart of man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his steps. That's from Proverbs 16:9. Keep that in mind. The heart of man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his steps. So, folks, of course, I'm talking about Phillip Ensler. He's running for lieutenant governor, and despite our differences, I've always gotten along with Alabama Democrat Phillip Ensler. I have. I know it annoyed Eddie some, and a few of you listeners, but I didn't take it personally. After Phil defeated my mother's close personal friend, Charlotte Meadows, in the 2022 Alabama House race. In a way, I believe that loss was a blessing for Charlotte. God directing her steps into the next beautiful phase of her life. She's got a lot of grandchildren now. Also, the district had been redrawn by the GOP majority Alabama legislature to favor Democrats. I think it was, in a way, retribution or stop it with all that school choice stuff. Charlotte, you better play ball. And at least the way you're going about it. But anyway, they redrew that district in favor of Democrats, so I couldn't really blame Phil Ensler for seizing the opportunity to win a sure thing. Yet I confess that the change was a bit of a whiplash. It was. Whiplash personally. It was a personal change. Alabama House District 74 is where I still reside today. It's where I lived then. And with that change in 2022, my state representative went from a Christian conservative woman who helped my mother change my diapers to a progressive young Jewish man from New York City who had come to Alabama through the Teach for America program. Like I said, I've always gotten along with Ensler. Since 2022, I've had him on my radio show, this radio show, several times. Our conversations have always been cordial, despite our obvious political differences. And we've even found common cause on things like anti-swatting legislation and, both watching the rise of cryptocurrency. Indeed, we had struck up enough of a relationship that when Ensler announced in July of 2025 that he wouldn't be seeking re-election for State House because he was leaving Alabama to move back home to New York City, I invited him on my show to essentially say goodbye. My father passed away a little over 2 years ago up in New York, and a lot of my aunts and uncles and cousins are all up there, Ensler told me on the show. And I just feel strongly about being back closer to a lot of them. That's going to be the hardest part about moving, Ensler went on to tell me, is just all the relationships that I've formed, both, as you mentioned, in the Jewish community, which I'm Jewish, but certainly in the larger Montgomery community. I know people understand that being close to family, there's nothing more important than that, he told me. At the time, I took Ensler's goodbye in good faith, describing his decision following the interview in this way. Got to make those tough decisions sometimes, especially when I think at every level the personal is more important than the political, or the personal tends to bring you back to where you really need to be following family, and you can never fault a man for that. I'm literally quoting what I said moments after interviewing the fellow. Well, 5 months later, Phillip Ensler announced he was running for lieutenant governor, not in New York, but in Alabama. I thought he was moving, I said to myself upon seeing the news. I guess it doesn't matter if you're from Florida, Tennessee, or going back home to family in New York City. Everybody can run for state office in Alabama. My heart is here in Alabama, Ensler said upon announcing his candidacy. Now, after easily winning his primary race earlier this year, Ensler is the Democrat nominee for Alabama lieutenant governor, campaigning as Doug's best bud, like his name is Skeeter or something. Indeed, it seems Doug Jones' gubernatorial candidacy was a factor that changed Ensler's heart. At least Ensler said as much in interviews, that when Doug Jones got in, well, if Doug's in, I'm in. It's like we're going to a Beats concert together. So it seems with Jones in, Ensler's heart decided to stay in Alabama for one last campaign and join his swan song with Jones' final ode to the Southern liberal boomer, because that's what this campaign is. It's a wonderful final ode to the Southern liberal boomers. Again, I take none of this personally, and I hope Ensler doesn't take it personally when I say that I see a bright political future for him in New York City. Phil Ensler knows he will lose in November. He knew before he announced he was staying, after he announced he was leaving. So why run? What exactly is his heart planning? Could it be that running for statewide office in Alabama is actually a fabulous way to exit stage left? Could it be that running statewide as a progressive Democrat in ruby red Alabama is one heck of a story to sell back home to the folks in NYC should he run for city council, state assembly, or even Congress? Think about it, folks. A native New Yorker leaves home at a young age after joining Teach for America. And not only does he try to teach the children, he becomes a champion for civil rights, health care, gun safety, and inclusion, most importantly, here in Montgomery, Alabama, the birthplace of the civil rights movement, where they still haven't quite achieved Dr. King's dream, though you should check out their lynching museum on your next fun vacation. Yet Phil was willing to do the work. He fought the Republican machine. Now he's returned home not only with common sense legislative and campaign experience under his belt, but a whole network of Democrat donors, consultants, activists, operatives, and Doug Jones ready to work with him. I wish Phillip Ensler all the best in his promising political career in New York. I can't really blame him for seizing the opportunity to lose a sure thing to his benefit. The only way he wins in November would be through divine intervention. May God establish his steps no matter which way his heart may plan, even if Alabama was just a stepping stone along the way. So, yeah, Democrats have, people running. And I will say, compared to people in the past that have run statewide for the Democrats, Phil Ensler is an upgrade. But you literally picked a guy who said he was moving back to New York. Now, you could say his heart's still here and he has extended family here. Sure. But it seems like to me that, well, maybe running statewide and losing is actually a way to improve one's opportunities going forward. 272-9228. That, or he just likes Doug that much. Now let's go to this Montgomery man. And it's a young man. And I'm looking at his photo here, and he's like, in a line, there's some woman, and then there's Mayor Reed, and then next to the woman, who's next to Mayor Reed, is this fella, Patrick O'Neill Perry. And he's got a shirt on that says SOS, but the O is like a don't sign, like a O with the line, the red line through it. SOS Montgomery, save our streets. So, yeah, Patrick O'Neill Perry, who's 32, who's of Montgomery, was recently arrested by the Alabama Department of Corrections with 19 pounds of marijuana. That's a lot of marijuana. Man, you wouldn't have to go out of the house for like a year. Maybe if you're there all the time, you'll smoke more. But it was 19 pounds of marijuana and 30 grand in cash. And he has apparent ties to a city-funded anti-violence initiative that Mayor Stephen Reed has touted when city violence complaints began growing. Perry was arrested at Fairhaven Lane in Montgomery after law enforcement carried out a search warrant as part of an ongoing investigation into contraband connected to Fountain Correctional Facility. He's charged with trafficking marijuana and was given a $100,000 bond. But post on social media, and I believe Craig Monger at 1819 News found this, post on social media show his apparent connection to the Facebook group Save Our Streets Montgomery, Save Our Streets MGM. He also appears on the Office of Violence Prevention's Facebook page. In the pictures, Perry can be seen participating in multiple events, wearing clothes branded with Save Our Streets, that slogan, and appearing to assist the group at multiple venues. And in one photo, he is with the mayor. Save Our Streets MGM appears to be the social media page for the Community Violence Intervention Program, which is funded by the city of Montgomery. The program claims to be, quote, an initiative designed to reduce fatal and non-fatal shootings in Montgomery through a series of evidence-based interventions. The program is part of the Together We Rise initiative, heavily pushed by Montgomery Mayor Stephen Reed in 2024 after growing cries from residents as well as state and federal lawmakers came out to address the growing crime problem. At its inception, the city boasted that the program builds on existing efforts and introduces new strategies to foster a safer and more resilient community. The Together We Rise initiative was launched in December of 2024 and received $1.7 million over 30 months from the city of Montgomery. The county commission also contributed the same amount. Together We Rise is more than a slogan, it's a call to action, Mayor Reed said at the time. Public safety is a shared responsibility, and by working together, city officials, community organizers, faith leaders, and residents, we can build a safer, stronger Montgomery. It means investing in our youth, empowering them with opportunities, and ensuring they grow up in a city free from violence. Let's rise together to create the community we all deserve. The Community Violence Intervention Program did not immediately respond to inquiries from 1819 News regarding the scope of this guy, Perry's involvement, or what, if any, position he held. Of course, Perry's considered innocent until proven guilty. But I'm, wondering, how do you even judge a program like this? Is it working? Because in my looking into this, it's not like a terrible thing. It seemed ineffective, feckless on its own, though. Places where it seemed to work, you had a combination of, yes, community outreach and getting folks together and getting people to communicate, and nothing wrong with that. But then you also had to say, bring in the Calvary aspect to this as well. That part of the reason you get people together is you find out who doesn't want to play ball and who doesn't share in your hopes of Together We Rise. because some people have been given over to their desires. And they could really give a damn about all your happy talk and all your hopes. So there is a role for authority to punish. And yes, to deter folks like that. So you should do both. Intervene, get people together. Together we rise. But then for the folks who don't want to rise together, you need police. And we certainly need police. Go talk to a police officer, and you'll learn that we need police. And we need good police officers. And, of course, it's always funny, too. If somebody's so involved. Like, was he getting contacts at the Together We Rise? Like the Save Our Streets get-togethers, this Perry character? Just never know who might be selling marijuana. The folks locked up. Anyway, 272-9228. That's 334-272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. Let's go to line one. You're on the air. Who's this?
Hey, Mr. Clark, this is Clint.
Hey, Clint, how are you?
Good day, sir. What is it going to take to get the state of Alabama to leave marijuana alone?
You got to change the laws.
I mean, it takes a vote, and pharmaceutical cannot vote. I mean, pharmaceutical companies, they fight every year to keep marijuana out of the hands of.
Well, they're still working on they legalized the medical aspect, but it ain't like, actual
it's not
plant.
The same.
No, that you can roll up in a doobie and get a little high. That ain't it at all.
I should be able to grow my own.
Sure.
Now, what's wrong with that? I don't want to sell it.
Right.
I just want to smoke it for my own satisfaction.
What do you get out of it, Clint?
I just feel good.
How does it make you feel good, though?
I just feel good.
Like physically, like your body's warm, or are you happy? Like, how's your mood? Like,
yeah, I'm happy. I mean, it puts me in a good mood. Listen to some good music, watch a good movie. You really get into it.
Yeah. Do you have any like underlying pain issues or things like that? We don't have to go into too much detail.
I have pain.
Yeah.
It helps my pain I get in my legs and my back. It does help.
Right. But
I'd rather smoke that than I would take pills.
Fair enough. And that's why I think a lot of people, even on the medical side, were convinced. And you know me, like I think it can be abused like anything else, like donuts and alcohol and all sorts of other things in this world. So people get somewhat too reliant on it and do too much of it. But I also
like alcohol.
Right. But I'd imagine you would agree that even if it was legal for you to grow those plants, it would be pretty wrong for you to try to smuggle that marijuana into like a lockup situation, right?
I would not. That would not cross my mind.
Right. Right.
Not at all. I just want to, I mean, how many plants you need to grow on your own? I don't want a whole garden of it. 3 or 4 plants. That's all you need.
Is this like an everyday thing?
Well, no, I don't know. Not even every day. No.
That's good.
Just when I feel like talking one. I like to have it on hand.
There you go. What kind of is there a certain like music you like when you smoking?
It don't matter. No, rock and roll, blues, country.
All right.
That's my music right there. So. All right, young man. Have a good day.
Thank you, Clint. Appreciate the call and you share. Got a line 2. You're on there. Who's this?
Yes, this is Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah, the pot going in prison, it does not mellow things down.
Yeah, I didn't think it would.
The gangs, blacks and whites, it's a business. And with the cell phones that are in there, as much as they are, they run their business through their families, through other gang members, and also scams of people that are needing money to buy the drugs. They run scams on those phones on the public.
Oh, sure. Oh, sure. A lot of contraband getting in there.
Yeah, but not only that, the violence. They get behind in the debt, and it increases violence. Also, they also turn people out as far as they get behind in debt, sex slaves, enforcers for them,
Yep.
do what they're told. It's gang run. It just doesn't mellow anything out in prison. And the cell phones make it a business.
Well, and it's a shame, and I think you're right about the dynamics. And sometimes I think the government forgets, whether it's law enforcement on the streets or especially prisons, jails, these situations. You have to be moral, you have to be lawful, but you have to be the biggest, baddest gang on the block. Like, you can't let other people run this thing. And for too long, the prisoners have been getting away with way too much, and the streets have been getting away with way too much.
Inside.
Yeah.
Cell phones, outside contacts, everything. And also officers. Not officers are bad, but there are some that they're making a lot of money on the cell phones. They make a lot of money on that.
But what if you, administered marijuana to them? Like, everybody got this big old dose at the beginning of the day, and then midday right before lunch, and then, and I don't know how much activity they'd want to do on their phones.
No, it'd still have the violence.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's almost like there's no silver bullet, actually, unless you literally sedate people. But, yeah, what a mess, man. And just to see this story of a guy who's, out in the community wanting his streets to be safe, and he's sitting here doing this. Crazy.
Yeah. The world we live in.
Indeed. Well, I appreciate the call, Joe.
Okay, appreciate it.
Let's go to line 3. You're on there. Who's this?
Oh, hey, this is Crawdad.
Yeah, Crawdad.
I have my. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, I hear you.
Good deal. Yeah, I wish that me and Clint could have a little acre out in the country somewhere, because he and I probably would sit on the same porch and play checkers all day long. There is.
King me, Clint. King me.
This young man that you were talking about a moment ago, he's not Rastafari, is he?
No, he actually, just look of him, he seemed all right and kind of put together. A lot of tattoos, though, but everybody's got tattoos these days.
Well, I don't judge people by the way they look, but Bob Marley and Peter Tosh, when they were talking about Rastafari, they lived it, they meant it, it's part of their religion and the philosophy. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with them doing that way they do it. But when you're dealing it, making drugs, and you're going to hide it behind, I'm helping the community because I want to get these kids away from bad drugs. Here, smoke a doobie. That does not work. And how many pounds he had? 19 pounds, you say?
19 pounds, yes. That's a lot of marijuana.
And how much money did he have?
$30,000 in cash.
You see, that just kind of, I can't hang with that. I cannot hang with that at all. There's many other ways to work in the community other than that, and I'm more of the gardening person. I love the idea of gardening, teaching young people about growing things, and it does not have to be sativa and indica at all. As a matter of fact, I don't think young people should ever be exposed to cannabis at all. This is for grown people. But when Clint was talking about helping a little pain, yes, very much. The indica and the sativa are very, very different.
Yes.
And indica is great for helping with pain. Sativa is kind of a different psychological thing.
Yes.
And then they got these hybrids out there. But when he was talking about when is Alabama going to get it, yes, we're still stuck in the, what was that a long time ago about the reefer madness mentality. We're still stuck there. But how long do you think it'll be before I will be able to go to a dispensary and say, do you have an 100% indica so I can get a little gummy bear and see if it'll help me with my pain? How far
Probably over a decade, because I don't think Coach Tuberville is going to go for that, man.
But there is a good medical backup for these things.
Yeah.
In the 80s, it was the University of Missouri, actually, did a paper. I read that in the 80s, comparing it, all the THC levels and so on. It does have medical applications.
Yeah, and I think actually there's a THC fetish. It's more interesting to see the synergistic effect of all the different cannabinoids that are within these plants, and if you could dial that in, I think it could actually be a pretty great thing.
That does not exactly. You do not even involving the tetrahydrocannabinol. There are other factors, bunches of it. But
yes.
Joey, why do you keep doing this to yourself?
What do you mean?
Say, oh, I'm just picking at you, man. You do have the makings of a really good leader if you ever decided to go into civil service. I think you would be fantastic.
If I ever did leadership, it ain't going to be civil service. It'll be saving souls, sir. Though only that. Jesus saves. We just play our part.
I agree with you 100% here because, I've stood on the side of Jordan and I've looked across Jordan, and you know what I saw? John Baptiste and the Lord standing there looking at me like, why are you waiting?
Yeah.
I says, you didn't tell me it was time yet. So I'm still hanging around,
Oh, let me go. It's time.
Oh, Lord. Thank you, Joey.
Appreciate you, Crawdad.
Bye-bye.
272-9228. It's 334-272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And they're at Montgomery Men's Health. Well, they can help you fellas out, especially if you don't feel like a man anymore. Could be, in fact, your underlying issue is low testosterone. And that can lead to all sorts of complications, including just having no energy or confidence throughout the day. Of course, including lack of confidence in the bedroom, and nobody wants to admit to that. And I'm sure the wife is being nice about it. I'm sure they're always nice about it, right, gentlemen? But at Montgomery Men's Health, it's beyond just the bedroom. It is, of course, confidence and energy throughout the day, at work, around the house. It could be you're not sleeping well. Maybe your eating patterns are all off as well. And it could be you tried a lot of online stuff. Well, why not go and try an established institution that's been here serving men in the Montgomery and surrounding areas for almost 15 years. Real history, helping guys the right way. You get in-person care, and of course they can help you with things like ED or low testosterone, but they also have peptides now, which can really up your game in terms of weight loss or just general mental energy and focus. They have a lot of different things that might not be obvious to you. What you need to do, though, is just get by there, make an appointment, a $99 testosterone test, and you can get your numbers in about an hour, and you can start to understand, here's exactly what's troubling you. So call them up today. Make an appointment at 440-3663. That's 440-3663, or go online to montgomerymenshealth.com. Learn more and book an appointment there. Montgomery Men's Health, for every man in every season of life. I got to hit a quick break. We'll be right back after this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
We get a lot of questions about what all we handle at Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. I'm Hannah Grantham.
And I'm Eddie Bader, and we will handle all of your real estate needs.
We handle all your buying and selling needs, from your first home, next home, land, investment property, and even commercial properties.
We do it all and have the experience that shows you what makes us different.
So when you think real estate, think Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. Look us up on Facebook or give us a call at 334-368-6358. And let us show you who you have on your sign matters.
Whether it's AC or heating or plumbing that you're needing, whatever you require, call Lou Quire.
With the seasons changing, your HVAC system is working overtime. Call Lou Quire today to schedule a tune-up with one of their expert technicians to keep your system running efficiently and reliably. Keep your home comfortable all season long. 24-hour emergency service available. License number 22154.
Call Lou Quire right now.
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center at 8161 Vaughan Road. You know, with over 30 years experience in natural wellness, I've seen countless health fads come and go. A few years ago, we added a patented technology that actually activates your stem cells. It reverses the aging process at the cellular level. However, you do need proper hydration and targeted nutrition. At the Herb Shop, our advanced scanning and testing technology allows us to accurately assess your nutritional needs and get a customized plan for you. Come in today and see what the Herb Shop can do for you.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Victoryland.
Giveaways galore all summer long. Diamond Days Diamond Jewelry Giveaway and TV Tuesdays TV Giveaway with $185,000 in free play at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino off I-85 exit 22 Shorter, Alabama.
Rich Thomas Weather.
We now have, for the first time this summer, an extreme heat warning. That is a dangerous category higher than a heat advisory. In fact, in some spots, the heat index could reach 113 today, with the actual high temperatures teetering close to 100 today, tomorrow, and probably Wednesday as well. Lows at night in the upper 70s, and any random storms that do pop up will be few and far between, unfortunately. Take it easy, slow down, and stay hydrated. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Back to school shopping starts now, and ASC Credit Union has you covered. Our back to school loan helps you pay for supplies, laptops, clothes, and more. Stop by your local ASC branch or apply today at yourasccu.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
The premier place the River Region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
How you conduct yourself in a democracy?
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. 272-9228. That's 334-272-9228. If you want to get in on the conversation. Y'all see Harrison Ford's going to have a new Indiana Jones thing going on? Man's 84. I guess Indy can get old too. Let's go to line one, talk to Sam. Hey, Sam, how you doing?
Well, I'm doing pretty good. I'm trying to reach the office of the, what do they call it, the mayor-elect. Isn't that what President Biden did when he set up his fake office, the office of the president-elect?
Sure.
Yeah, okay. That was a long way to
go.
Well,
we got a long way out, and it's that whole thing ain't till next year.
Yeah.
Though we do need a new mayor. I don't know if you've heard me say that before, but we do need a new mayor.
A new mayor? Mm-hmm. My, imagine that. Sooner the better is what I've heard. I'm standing here. It's a beautiful day. Yes, brother. It is. Sun's out. Hot as can be. I've got my shoulders lathered up in some sunscreen, and I'm looking out across the cornfield. It's dry. They'll pick it soon. It's like desert planet dry, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Iraq, the corn of Iraq. Anyway, whatever. Why did I call? Just something Clinton was talking about. When you were talking about 19 pounds and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Typical person likes an ounce of marijuana a month. 12, so that's 12 ounces, and plus holidays and Christmas, stuff.
Well, is that like somebody smoking once a day or something?
Yeah, a daily smoker.
Mm-hmm.
And so it comes out to about a pound a year. So 19 people locked up is what I was. When you hear something like that, I figure a pound a person in an environment when it's readily available. Just throwing that out there. Traditionally, now it's different now with this fake stuff and that THCA, the hemp.
Yeah,
that stuff.
I don't know
my
about
God,
that stuff, man.
Well, it's just really strong.
This whole idea of you break that plant apart and you do all the different synthetic compounds and
yeah.
I think there's actually, again, like I said earlier, something to the synergistic effects of everything going on with it. But I don't know.
In properly used in small amounts, it really does help with anxiety and some social problems.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like I said, dispensaries are nice because you can gauge what you're getting, and there's a lot of stuff out there that's really strong. That's what's instead no subtlety to it. It's like getting kicked by a mule.
Yeah.
2 mules. I'm sure each kick has its own little subtle differences, but it's still getting kicked by a mule. So I assume it's going to work out. That's all I had, brother. Good afternoon. It's hot, and I'm going to ride a lawnmower here for a little bit. get my Panama City Beach look going.
Well, I appreciate it, Sam. And by the way, the new Indiana Jones thing is not a movie. No, it is. He is set to reprise his role as Indiana Jones in the forthcoming attraction, Indiana Jones and the Myth of the Jade Serpent. Wait, it's not a movie. It's at Walt Disney World's Animal Kingdom.
You know,
it's like an adventure ride. He'll be, for the first time ever, the actual model of the Indiana Jones animatronic thing, and Fear of Snakes included, he said.
Okay. Well, that the one time I got to go to Disney and do it right, 2008 or 12, it was the last space shuttle night launch, that period. But it was close to perfect. Okay, I was really impressed at how they did the shows and rides. But seeing in the news, Disney, they've been having having trouble with imagination. There we go.
Really?
And so, yeah. Oh man, I check. I've been entertained by all that. Keep it up. Back around when the election was going on, I was following. Disney was in the culture then, and I've been kind of following it since. And they don't want to give that DEI up. And they've the River America, the Tom Sawyer, bunch of the old classic rides. It was just too Americana and got rid of them. And just anyway, I'm rambling.
Now, can I ask you something, though, before you go?
Sir, yes, sir.
What do you think of a lady with tattoos?
The lady with, is that a reference, a name? Well, I'm sorry.
Tattoos.
Oh,
the lady, say she's got a bunch of tattoos on both arms, like she's got sleeves and stuff.
I come from a very conservative background. That's not my thing. I'm not going to give any heat or crap about it, but I don't want to hear about that's if you want to share it, hey, well, okay, share it.
Now, do you remember Nancy Mace? She was the congresswoman from. Oh yeah.
I'm sorry. Oh yeah, it is.
Oh yeah.
I listen. I've been paying attention, and some things I like more than others.
Well, she's got a lot of acreage, and she broke out. She's got a new program, a podcast. So add that to the millions of others, especially the whole Candace Owens sideshow. My God, man. When's that grift going to run out of money? But
exactly what I was thinking.
Her new podcast is called Get Maced, and she'll apparently address the news of the day. She's 48 years old, and she revealed in February that she got several tattoos which provided her, quote, this is a quote from the 48-year-old woman, the pain that I need to feel. That doesn't sound healthy.
No, that's... Okay.
But she's had them covered in public since, but just did a podcast episode, launched her show, and she's got both arms out, baby. And
listen, obviously, she wants attention. Okay.
Now, she says. So my story is, I am totally broken. I have PTSD over what I've been through.
Kind of get me to cry, aren't you? Well, it's not going to happen today, big boy. I am going to go run this lawnmower, but I don't know what to say. I've got things on my plate much more urgent and pressing. Yeah. I really enjoy keeping up with what's going on in the pop culture and all that craziness and racket. It has made for some good YouTube entertainment, and I feel like I'm, just trying to stay in touch with the world. But
I almost think one of these tattoos on her left bicep is Mary, Our Lady.
I don't know. It's like messing with me about what was her name? Our North Dakota Indian. Damn, Sam. There you go.
Christy Nome?
Yes, Christy. Yes, that was it. That was poor thing. She was in trauma and crazy as hell. Feel sorry for her now, but Joy, hey, think of it. Future office. Was it office of the mayor, maybe to be elect? There we go. Right there at the studio.
It'll be a great day. It'll be a
great day.
Glorious day. Anyway, I appreciate the call, Sam.
Let me go.
Later, dude.
Love y'all.
Love you too. Let's go to line 2. You're on there. Who's this?
Simpler Days.
Hey, Simpler Days. Before you go into what you called about, what do you think of a lady with tattoos?
Well, I think that if she wants to get a tattoo, and that's her choice. And it's good with me. I mean, that's her choice. But in 40 years of law enforcement, Joey, I saw a lot of tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of them. I think one of the most interesting ones I saw was that she had it on, and they were searching her up at the jail, and I happened to come around the corner. She was intoxicated, and it had, you got to be this high to ride this ride, something like that.
Okay.
But when I used to work the fair, and the fair is coming up, back in the day, you could go to the fair and see the tattooed lady. That was a feature. And, I mean, going back to the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, you could go to the fair to see the tattooed lady. And
was she normally during the day just the auto mechanic for the rides?
No, she was an employee of the carnival, the fair, whatever you want to call it, and she was covered in tattoos from head to toe. And because back then, women didn't get tattoos.
Oh.
And you saw men who had been to war or been in the service, and they had tattoos, and then you saw formerly incarcerated people that had prison tattoos, cheap prison tattoos, and they would get them in prison. They'd have them on their hands. You could spot them a mile off. But anyway, I was working the fair, and this is probably back in the 80s, maybe mid-80s, and I was standing there, and we were at, the fair out there at Six Flags over Chisholm.
Mm-hmm.
And we were standing there at the back gate with one of the carnies, and he was standing there talking to me, and we were watching the people come in, and he said, "Mr. Policeman, y'all used to come out here to see the freaks."
Right.
He said, "Now we watch y'all." And that's about the time, things really started to change, Joey.
Yeah, it's a shame.
You started seeing women. You started seeing women with tattoos.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's some. I don't mind a lady with tattoos as long as they're tasteful. Depends on what the tattoo's of. Definitely depends on that. But yeah, I don't mind. I don't have any tattoos, so.
Nor do I. But if that's your choice to get one, but it just sometimes we make decisions when we're young and dumb, and then we regret it later on in life. And a lot of these people that I just wonder when they get to be 40, 50, and they start to have children, of course, those children, and it's, social norms have changed. I understand that. You know what was shocking to me, Joe? I went to see, and you need to see something every now and then to see how it really was. I went to the Shakespeare Festival this weekend to see the Carole King show, and they were playing all of it. She wrote so much music from the 50s, late 50s and early 60s for different groups like Stylistic, but there were several black groups, and when they came out on stage, and they were all very talented, but they were all dressed to the nine.
Sure. Coat
and ties, and I was sitting there wondering, when did all that change? When did the social norms? What happened in our culture where those entertainers now they come out with their pants hanging down, they're grabbing their crotch? I just wondered, when that changed.
Yeah, and I think it's across the board, man. Because I admit I wear jeans pretty much every day. I don't usually get dressed up. I don't see the point in wearing a suit all the time. But there probably was a time in radio where, before the hippies took over, where you came in suit and booted every day, dressed to the nine. I think Paul Harvey was that way. He always had like a fresh flower, a rose in his lapel. Greg Budell told me correctly, and I don't know. I think we just become a little more lackadaisical. I was saying it last week, like, where are the adults at? And I include myself in that. I'm a bit of a man-child, and I don't know. Their standards just seem to go out the window the more prosperous we get and the more distractions we get put in front of us.
Well, I guess when all the old farts like me pass on and, don't want anybody, it'll all just be the norm. Have a good day, Joey.
Appreciate Simpler Days. 272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services, and their Pest Pro Ashley and that great team are ready to help you out with, if you need basic pest control service, they can get you on a monthly subscription program and visit on a regular basis. So the house is not bothered at all by those insects, by those little critters. But it could be you want more than just the basic package. Could be you want to get rid of those mosquitoes, which they're still out in force. If you actually want to enjoy your yard, enjoy your property, call up Pest Pro Services, and they'll come out when the season is right to get rid of those mosquitoes. Maybe it's been a while since you've had your place checked for termites. Well, you're making a mistake there. Call up Pest Pro right now. Get them to come out, do an inspection. They can lay down year-round protection for that. And, of course, they can also help with wildlife control. Say a little critter gets into your home, tries to make a home out of your attic, a home out of your crawl space. Well, Pest Pro can help you there, too. Just check them out today. You can always learn more at ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces or call them direct at 265-9990. That's 265-9990. And be sure to tell them, folks, that Joey, that fella on the radio, sent you. Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Is this?
Hi, it's Debbie.
Hi, Debbie. How are you?
I'm good. I'm just wanting to chime in on the tattoo thing,
On the
if that's
tattoos.
okay.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Well, I've never been one to be crazy about a lot of tattoos, but I've always respected, a small amount, 1 or 2, because it's usually meaning something.
Sure.
People in the military, people losing somebody they love, as a remembrance kind of thing, and I've always respected that. I never thought much about people tattooing large portions of their body, but I watched a special, and it changed my mind with some people. There was a lady who had a double mastectomy.
Mm-hmm.
She would not go back to the gym. She was too embarrassed. She was a very active, very athletic person. Her husband was devastated that he knew his wife was turning into a recluse, and he was desperate.
Mm-hmm.
He ran across a magazine that had a single mastectomy. A lady put a long-stemmed rose over the scar. I got a bright idea. Maybe
That's
this
beautiful.
will help my wife. He went home with the magazine, showed it to her, and she took it way above. But when she got done, it took her 3 years to complete it. It looked like she was wearing a flowered halter that gave you the, when you looked at it, it was like she had full breasts. So they did a 3D look and made her look, yes.
They were able
Yes.
to do a 3D effect that made it look like she had breasts again.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And so when she went to the gym, she would go around topless. People thought she was wearing a halter top.
Wow.
And that's why, yes. So that for her was an open door back to life. And so like I said, always thought that some tattoos were good. This was so well done, though. You would have been amazed. I just couldn't get over it. They actually showed the whole thing on TV. But I was impressed, totally. So I think there's a place for everything if it's done well, especially. And we just have to kind of take it as it is. Now, for me, I never had a tattoo because there was nothing I could think of I would want to be on my body for the rest of my life when I get old and saggy and still like it.
And I have to admit, it has to be like a first impression thing. So when I saw former Congresswoman Nancy Mace with her sleeves, tattoos on both arms, out and letting those things breathe out in the sun, I was like, yeah, fits her. It's fitting to who she is. It's fits character.
Right.
So
right.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's cool.
Anyway, I thought that, for a person that enjoys good art, that's the way to go. But I've also seen some really bad tattoos that really have to be redone.
Like, I really love art, so just get the Mona Lisa right on my chest.
But if it's your baby that passed away and that beautiful face is looking at you every morning when you stand there and brush your teeth, now that's worth it.
Now, after my mom's passing, my brother got it's a little more abstract, but it's just black, mother holding child on his, I think, left breast, left chest.
Yeah,
and
see,
I think it's very well done.
Part.
Yeah. So I've never pulled the trigger on that. Maybe I'll get like Hebrews 4:12 etched on me somewhere, but it's like, well, I could just memorize it. I don't have to put it on me.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, there's good and bad in everything, but I do believe there is a place for tattoos, and I think that some people do it well. And personally, I couldn't, but I don't mind appreciating somebody else's artwork.
Well, I appreciate you, Debbie. I got to run.
You have a good day.
You too. This part of the program brought to you by Waverly Advisors, formerly Invista Advisors. Waverly Advisors is now ready to help you out with your financial planning, folks. Of course, I'm talking about Austin Baranco and the great team there at Waverly Advisors. Brant McDonald, who you've heard on these airwaves for years with Greg Budell. Same great team, same great approach. They are now Waverly Advisors, and it's a much bigger operation with a lot of, say, resources available for current clients as well as prospective clients. So everything you need for comprehensive financial planning, investment management, and fiduciary advice. It's not too early, not too late to actually get, say, some investment plans set up. It's not too early, not too late to actually get a good plan of action, say you're running a business or a nonprofit. And, of course, whether you're starting out with a family or you're looking to button up end-of-life concerns, get a plan together. They can help you there at Waverly Advisors. Just call them up today at 387-0094. That's 387-0094. And be sure to tell them Joey, the fellow who works with Austin Baranco, sent you. It's a good name. Good, strong last name, Baranco, in this town. Anyway, we got to hit a break. We'll be right back. 272-9228. If you want to get on the conversation, that's 334-272-9228.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. The White House is ordering a major reduction in military drills with a key ally. The president directing the military to substantially reduce the joint exercises with South Korea, an annual event. He says the drills send a hostile signal to North Korea. It also noted his relatively good relationship with the the North Korean dictator, I should say, Kim Jong-un. He also cited his frustration with South Korea for refusing to join in the U.S. war effort against Iran. The cleanup continues today on Hawaii's Big Island after a close brush with Hurricane Lala over the weekend. The storm did not make landfall nor cause any deaths. It is blamed for sweeping about 100 houses off of their foundations. Lala weakened to a tropical storm on Sunday. It has been slow going on Wall Street so far today. The Dow right now down by 248 points. This is SRN News.
I swear I'm not in love. Not in love with you.
For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Thank you again to God for another beautiful day. So far, I think it's been a beautiful show. Talking about Phil Ensler and smoking weed and ladies with tattoos. And that brings me to, I think, a sign of the demonic. I'm using that figuratively, not literally, but the demonic in our culture. The whole Candace Owens industry. It's not just Candace. There's a whole bunch of folks over the murder, the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And so there was this moment over like the last week. Somebody who'll go unnamed sent me y'all remember the old Sean Connery, Barbara Wawa interview where Connery talks about it at a certain point? A man's got to raise his hand to a lady. And Barbara Walters is like, how dare you? He's like, not because you want to. It's just like they always want the last word. And Barbara Walters is like, you're going to get some mail. And Connery said, yeah, some female. Anyway, somebody sent that to me in reference to Candace Owens. And I said, that's just wrong, dude. But that is a classic clip. So Candace Owens did a debate with a fella who's he's did like a lot of debates around Orthodox Christianity and belief, but he debates everything. Andrew Wilson. He's kind of this internet online debater. Was pretty big. Was recently on Rogan, on the Jubilee show. Like he's in a lot of spaces in the podcast world. He decided to debate Candace on this whole who killed Charlie Kirk thing. And in some ways, it just reminded me of why I haven't paid attention to this. And maybe to my detriment, it seems to have attracted so much attention and so much money at stake. It's so entertaining to just, throw accusations out there and destroy, the reputations of people surrounding Charlie. It's not enough that he was shot in the neck. Now let's just sow suspicion around the whole thing. Again, I think it's a more demonic force in our society, but of course I mean that figuratively. But here's this one moment. It's just a small sample. It's like a 2-hour, 3-hour debate. And everybody's got their hot take on who won, and would you believe that the people that have been working with Candace and boosting Candace thought she won, and then everybody else thought Andrew Wilson won. Whatever. It's one of those, you see what you want to see. We do live in this Rorschach test age of media. But this is a fascinating moment of, how this played out.
How were you able to infer off of blurry staircase images that is Tyler Robinson?
Yeah, so in that particular case, what you do is you take that evidence, you combine it with other evidence. So it's not just that Tyler Robinson is seen in the staircase.
Why are you calling him Tyler Robinson in the staircase? That's what I want to get to.
Yeah, because, we'll just use this. If you don't agree that that's Tyler Robinson, then you would just have to humor me. I think it is, so I'm using the name.
But why do you think it is? Because you call them conspiracy theorists. That's literally what I'm trying to explain to you.
Okay. So if you're asking for my inference why I think it's Tyler Robinson, is because Tyler Robinson said in his text messages, you'll be able to see me on security footage at the campus. Said it in his own messages. On top of that, Twigs, yes, you can pull them up if you want to fact check that. He did say.
I would. I'm sorry. I actually think I really did miss that. I'm not saying you're wrong. I don't remember him saying you're going to see me in.
I'm paraphrasing, but it was close to it.
Yeah, I think
and
that's
by the
not
way,
right.
Twigs himself said that he had
some on the staircase.
He had some maybe a tiny bit of doubt, but it sure looked like Tyler Robinson inside of this various surveillance footage that he saw.
So Lance, sorry.
Hang on.
Right.
So there's multiple reasons why it is that I believe that that's Tyler Robinson, not just because of blurry footage.
Did you have a dream? Just kidding.
No, it's because I combined multitudes of evidences.
So let's address those multitude of evidences. The first one we're working on a fact check on because I do not ever remember him tweeting. That's me in the staircase. Or texting.
He didn't tweet it.
Texting that's me in the staircase. I think that I
didn't say that. I said I literally didn't. What I said is that he texted over, you'll be able to see me in footage at UVU. And I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he said.
Yeah, could we get a fact check on that?
First, go to what Candace is asking about Skylar. I think you have it. You just text him if you want to pull it up. You said you have the text. If we can put that up on the screen. Thank you.
It was me. Look at the pictures from the surveillance footage. It was me. Okay. I literally said to you, it's not an oof. I said I didn't remember this, and I'm happy to have a fact check on that. Okay. I didn't call for the fact check saying you're wrong. I literally said I don't remember that from the text
I'm just saying to you, I'm trying to be concise for you.
And then also...
So you got the guy saying, it was me. But I think this is a symptom of the age we live in, where people don't trust their own eyes, people don't trust institutions anymore, and you know what? I ain't going to argue with that. There's a lot of reason not to trust your, say, institution, especially coming out of COVID. It's one of the biggest things that came out of COVID. was this era of distrust. But what some people have done is say, well, if we can just get to the real truth, but then you string people along on what the real truth actually is, and you essentially just connect together all sorts of disparate data points without any sort of coherent story, except the coherence comes from this sort of dramatic hooking of people. So next week, you know how long they did that show Lost, for instance? And it did, in the moment, you think, oh, that kind of makes sense, and that goes with that. Ooh, and what's that thing behind the corner? But at the end of the day, the whole story made no sense at all. Or you could tell they were just cobbling it together at the very end. You saw this with the end of Game of Thrones. It's just like, yeah, you could sort of see the threads come together, but eventually they just had to make crap up. They didn't actually have it thought through. And this often happens more in, say, your infotainment world. That's the world we now live in. When you aren't actually trying to find out what's exactly true, because here's the thing, it's not real sexy. If you really want to know what's true, most people need to learn to say, I don't know, and leave it at that. Instead, people say, I don't know, but I had a dream about it, or I feel this way about it, or I have a hunch about it, or my gut tells me, or here's my inference about this thing. And one thing I've noticed out of this era is, like, people have started to trust only their distrust. And that does not make for rebuilding a country that actually is going to be fruitful. A country that's actually going to be prosperous, not just materially, but spiritually as well. So we got example after example of this. Somebody else did a whole montage here that we can share. This was the show, Candace Owens on her show versus Candace Owens on the debate. So you can see all the contradictions, the goalpost moves, and, well, all the gaslighting. So let's listen in together.
Robinson killed Charlie Kirk, and 2, Candace's belief that there's overwhelming evidence that Tyler Robinson was a patsy and didn't kill Charlie Kirk. Why is it that we should go with this idea that it was a patsy?
I'm not saying that we should go with the idea that it was a patsy. I am saying that there is.
I thought that was the whole defense, your whole claim.
No, Tyler Robinson. They're going to convict him, right? They found their patsy. They're going to make it work.
The alleged shooter, you think they're a patsy?
Of course, they're a patsy. A patsy, which is what Tyler Robinson is. Tyler is a patsy. I mean.
So all these things she's saying was from last year after just this past week, saying, well, that's not the claim. That's not the claim at all.
Maintain that. What we've all suspected, that Tyler Robinson is indeed a patsy. I'm not saying that we should go with the idea that it was a patsy.
Was Lance Twiggs' DNA on the rifle, as far as you know?
Prints which were found on the gun, which of course included Lance Twiggs. More evidence that Lance Twiggs simply took Tyler Robinson's family heirloom of a gun and helped the feds set him up as a patsy. More of his DNA than Tyler's on the gun, that there is objectively more overwhelming evidence that Lance Twiggs did this crime. Lance Twiggs has his DNA on the rifle. Well, it's Tyler's rifle, but Lance's DNA is more prominent.
By the way, Candace said all this a week before the debate.
How does that happen?
Was Lance Twiggs' DNA on the rifle, as far as you know?
We can't say that for certainty.
As far as you know.
We can't say that for certainty.
So no, as far as you know.
We can't say that for certainty until we know what other the 5 sets of prints were on.
So that would be no as far as you know.
We can't say that for certainty. Right there is why it is impossible for me to think that Erica Kirk is not complicit somehow.
That Tyler Robinson was 100% responsible for the death of Charlie Kirk. Let's just say she believed it with every fiber of her being, believed all the evidence, because she did. She just actually did. Would it then follow that somehow she's complicit in his death?
I didn't say implicit in death. Amount of evidence that is now piling up against Erica Kirk.
This is in February of this year. She did say, essentially.
I've seen enough. Erica Kirk should be dragged into a police precinct. I'm at the point right now, I want Erica to just drop a book like, If I Did Do It, you know, like OJ did. If I Did Do It by Erica Kirk, the Black Widow, the CEO. I think Erica is calculated. And I want to say to JD Vance, you better wake up fast, okay? That's a Black Widow, my friend. You will get bit. I didn't say implicit in death.
You added those words. No, the evidence is piling up against her, and that's a Black Widow, man. What does that even mean? That she's literally a spider? Let's keep going.
You added those 2 words. Tyler Robinson, we can exclusively confirm to you all, drove 3 hours away from Orem, Utah, down to Panguitch, Utah. Grabbed himself a seat at the bar at this steakhouse, and he ordered himself some more food.
So there's no evidence
So that was in January. Now to the debate that just happened last week.
that Tyler was at that steakhouse.
I would say the receipt with his debit card number, it would be some hard evidence. I have confirmed that happened. Again, there was a literal
Confirmed
receipt.
it's happened.
There's a literal receipt for that because, as we said, he paid with his debit card.
Is there proof that that was actually his debit card that he paid with?
I think you should follow the person that is behind that story.
Well, the reason I'm asking you is because you always include it in your timeline.
Now updated timeline to get from Orem down to Panguitch. And as soon as he got done and bought himself a steak down in Panguitch, we broke the story that Tyler was eating a steak down in Panguitch and drives 3 hours down to Panguitch.
So should that be added in an official timeline that you give?
It's in my timeline. It's my show, and we can add and subtract what we want, and we do. If
You
we
can
get
do what
something
you
wrong.
want, sure, but
Well,
I'm
I just wanted to
asking,
make sure.
should you include a thing that you know hasn't actually been verified to be Tyler Robinson's?
Yes, you should. If we're trying to build a timeline, you should.
Now, you have stated multiple times that you believe that Israel's involved in the death of Charlie Kirk.
Can you give
Yes,
me...
we can pull up the clip.
That's what all of the evidence and all of the behavior points to, is Israel's involvement. For those of us who believe that there is mounting evidence that Israel put a hit on Charlie Kirk, I think France and Israel are involved in Charlie Kirk's assassination. And I'm going to put that out there with full confidence.
So I'm asking, if you think that Israel and France were involved in the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and you say with full confidence, I'm just asking for the evidence, or at least walk me through the mindset of why it is that you could think that with
I actually
evidence.
don't have to walk you through why I think.
Between 0 to 100, what is the likelihood that you think Tyler Robinson shot Charlie Kirk and killed him? Candace?
0%.
0%.
I'm at 0.
There is a possibility in the next few months that you may come out and say, guys, it's done. Tyler killed him.
Yeah.
So you're saying yes to that.
Yeah.
I think it's very important for the audience here to from
Without question. 0%.
you. 0%.
I'm at 0.
Welcome to this new era of distrust. And, you know, again, folks are going to believe what they want to believe. And sometimes I think folks want to believe the intrigue and the sizzle more than the hard facts. But welcome, like I said, to the new world of media. It was kind of something we celebrated as corporate media started to embarrass themselves. But it doesn't mean that this rise of podcaster is actually going to give you quality information. 272-9228. That's 334-272-9228. If you want to get in on the conversation. And also, I think it's very much it's an internet thing. Now, the more you say that is like, well, there are a lot of people on the internet consuming this stuff. Millions. You do have to wonder how many are actually Americans and how many actually vote. But it's one of those things, earlier this year, I just stopped paying attention to it. I realized, oh, this is just nonsense. These are people pretending to know. And willing, in their own uncertainty, just based on feelings, to essentially imply the worst of folks around that man who died in front of all our eyes. That's what this is. That we live in the age of the accuser and the scatterer. Classic names for the enemy himself, the accuser and the scatterer. So if you are consuming stuff online, or you are trying to entertain yourself, or you are caught up and really you're intrigued by this particular person's presentation, maybe take a step back and try to think through, is this person making me feel better? And I don't mean in like a cheap sort of, let's take a hit of marijuana or eat some ice cream, man. But is this actually giving me sustenance? Is this person really, do they build their things off accusing and scattering? Or do they have something to say, independent, and a willingness to say that they're wrong? 272-9228 again, if you want to get it on the conversation. That said, let's move on to something else. So you had Trump calling his favorite reporter at Fox News, Trey Yingst, and he called him about the Iran deal. Apparently, like, the Iran deal is up, like the memorandum of understanding, the 60-day threshold is about to be or has been passed. And, well, the president decided to call in and give a little bit of update, and here Yingst is going to characterize that call.
Trump, who discussed the situation with Iran as the 60-day memorandum of understanding expires. The president told Fox News Iran should raise the white flag of surrender. He went on to say, I have no time schedule. I'm not in a hurry. The president indicating that the U.S. naval blockade is continuing to put new economic pressure on the Iranian regime, despite what the Iranians have said publicly. He said they're good poker players, but they're dying, and that the midterms in the United States have nothing to do with the president's thinking. Now, I asked the president about these parallel talks that are taking place between Iran and Oman about control of the Strait of Hormuz. And the president told Fox News, if Oman gets in the way, we'll bomb the S out of them. We went on to talk about a variety of different regional topics, including the U.S. stockpiles of weapons that are currently stationed in the Middle East. The president says what we've used so far is peanuts. He went on to say the United States has a lot of mid-level weapons and that many of the more advanced systems, the president says, were given away by President Biden to Ukraine, for example, when we're talking about air defense that is needed right now in the Middle East. The president also spoke about U.S. ally Israel. Remember, his son-in-law and top negotiator Jared Kushner is in the region. He met yesterday with Khalil al-Hayya, the current Hamas chief in Egypt. And the president said that they have a different channel with Hamas and that ultimately they are giving up their guns, talking about the demilitarization of the Gaza Strip. I asked the president about the upcoming Israeli elections in October, and President Trump told Fox News, I think it's most appropriate for me to stay out of Israeli elections, but I may endorse somebody. And so a lot of headlines here. The president talking about the latest in terms of the Strait of Hormuz and the Iranian regime that at this moment appears unwilling to reach a diplomatic solution with the United States.
And there are a few angles to this. Another story that the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, the U.S. Strategic Oil Reserve, could get damaged by the rapid release of stockpiles in response to the Iran war. Damage to the caverns would make it more difficult to respond to future energy emergencies. The oil in the Strategic Petroleum Reserve is stored at 60 salt caverns, thousands of feet underground at 4 major sites along the Gulf Coast in Louisiana and Texas. The SPR, Strategic Petroleum Reserve, has tumbled below 300 million barrels for the first time since it was filled in the early 1980s, according to the Department of Energy data released Monday. Inventories are depleting as the U.S. releases 172 million barrels in response to the supply disruption caused by the Iran war. The SPR will sit at around 243 million barrels after the drawdown is finished. The Energy Department has said that at least 70 million barrels must remain in the reserve to safely manage the caverns. Of course, some are disputing that figure. Depleting the reserve below 300 million barrels risks damage to the caverns, said a former Biden administration official, but, well, who knows? Any experts out there in terms of the storage of oil in salt caverns? The caverns are always full. All that changes is the ratio of oil and water that is filling them, said an Energy Department spokesperson in response to these outside claims. The Trump administration, quote, is responsibly managing the SPR as the critical national security asset it was designed to be. Both sides of the political aisle have voiced worries about the integrity of the salt caverns. Republican lawmakers raised those concerns when the Biden administration released a record 180 million barrels in response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022. The SPR fell below 350 million barrels in 2023 under Biden. It was refilled to around 450 million barrels before the Iran war. The Government Accountability Office said in a May report that repeated partial drawdowns followed by refill can leach a single part of a cavern repeatedly, leading to undesirable shapes, whatever that means. The majority of the SPR's caverns were found to be in very good condition after the 2022 drawdown, according to the GAO. However, every drawdown cycle expands cavern volume and reduces the spacing between caverns within the salt dome, which ultimately reduces their long-term viability. So it's not just as easy as, oh, let it flow. There's a lot of underlying logistics to all this, and a lot of expertise that we really do take for granted in all these things. But Trump wasn't done when it came to Iran. Apparently, while they're talking to the diplomatic folks, the actual political leaders, so-called, of Iran, U.S. negotiators were trying to reach a deal with Iran to end the war, and they ran into a problem. They couldn't tell if the people across the table actually spoke for the IRGC, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. So Trump administration officials did something unconventional. They went around Iran's negotiators and reached out directly to IRGC leadership. The person they tapped for the back channel was Chervan Barzani, the president of the Kurdistan region in Iraq, who had something very few others do, the trust of both U.S. and IRGC leaders. The episode, which was detailed by 3 sources with direct knowledge and has not been previously reported, shows how tricky it's been for the U.S. to negotiate with a country where Washington isn't sure who exactly is in charge. The U.S. and Iran did reach a memorandum of understanding, but it's quickly fallen to pieces. The Trump administration's key problem today and any future negotiations will be to make sure it's talking to the people who are actually calling the shots, literally calling whether or not to fire shots. That also means finding mediators who are trusted by both the White House and the Iranian regime. So the White House realized it needed a back channel to IRGC leadership. Around May 10th, then Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard called Barzani, the fellow in Iraq, with contacts to the IRGC. According to 2 sources direct knowledge of the call, Gabbard told Barzani that the administration thought he could help get in touch with the commander of the IRGC. During the Iran-Iraq war, Barzani lived in Iran and studied at the University of Tehran. He's fluent in Farsi and has personal relationships with many senior members of the Iranian regime, including top members of the IRGC. The source said Gabbard made clear to Barzani that she was making the call with the approval of President Trump and Vice President Vance. And so this guy agreed to Gabbard's request. He reached out to his contacts in the IRGC and said he had a message from the Trump administration. But I want to talk directly to General Vahidi, Barzani stressed, according to the sources. The Iranians agreed. On May 14th, the IRGC official arrived in Barzani's office in Erbil, Kurdistan, the capital of Iraqi Kurdistan, carrying an encrypted phone to conduct a secure call. Barzani asked the general, IRGC general, if he was aligned with the Iranian negotiators. The Iranian general said he was. I fully support them, and this is also the position of the IRGC. We prefer to solve this crisis through negotiations, the general said. 3 sources, including White House officials, said Barzani called Gabbard right after his conversation with the general and briefed her on the Iranian response. But after receiving the Iranian response, the Trump administration came back with another proposal, according to one of the sources with knowledge of the back-channel talks. The U.S. wanted Barzani to host secret talks between U.S. and Iranian negotiators in Erbil. Barzani spoke to the Iranians again and passed on the message. The Iranians didn't rule it out, but they were concerned about their security. They believed Israeli intelligence had many assets in Iraqi Kurdistan and were concerned the Israelis would try to assassinate them in Erbil or while they traveled there and back, and so the Erbil meeting never materialized. So what's the state of play here? The Pakistani and Qatari mediators continue to exchange messages between U.S. and Iran, but without any significant progress, regional sources with knowledge of the matter say. Some of these sources believe the Pakistanis are giving more optimistic readouts than the talks justify in an effort to create a sense of momentum that could break the stalemate. Barzani, the fellow in Kurdistan, has recently sent messages to the White House offering to help restart U.S.-Iran negotiations. And McGurk said the issue is not the mediator, it's Iran's policy on the Strait, and that's unlikely to change anytime soon. So we're kind of stuck there. And going completely different spot on the map in geopolitics, Trump put this out today. Based on my very good relationship with Kim Jong-un of North Korea, I'm not happy with the fact that the United States has long ago agreed to participate in joint military exercises with South Korea. These exercises are not only costly, with much of these costs paid for by the United States of America, as usual, but send a signal that is totally inappropriate and hostile to a country that, as long as Donald J. Trump has been president, has been unthreatening and respectful. Therefore, based on the fact that it's Too late to cancel. I have instructed Secretary of War Pete Hegseth to substantially reduce the joint military exercises. While somewhat unrelated, I recently asked the president of South Korea if they would like to join us in the denuclearization of the Islamic Republic of Iran, and they said, no thanks. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. So chess moves being made all across the board there in the geopolitical world. We'll see if something actually breaks through, but it doesn't sound like it's going to break through anytime soon. Something's got to give, though. 272-9228. Again, that's 334-272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. This part of the program brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And they're at Alabama Home Mortgage. Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon are ready to help you with buying a home or refinancing your current home. If you're looking for a great, trusted, experienced team, mortgage company, they can help you out there. And, you can't control interest rates. You can't control what the news is freaking out about, but you can control your own timing. You can control when it makes sense for you to buy or to refinance. Because real estate decisions are not one size fits all. If you're looking for money, it could be hiding in plain sight with all the equity you've built up right under your own roof. A great way to get debt off your back or shore up a retirement fund or reinvest in your property, do renovations on the property or help out some family. And, of course, they can also help you with buying a home. It all starts with pre-approval. Do not skip that step. And it'll actually be worth something. Don't use those fake online mortgage calculators. Instead, call up Alabama Home Mortgage, see how much home you can actually finance, and then you can shop with confidence. And if you're a veteran, I know a lot of the VA system is broken, and a lot of people say that because it is, and you're thinking more the medical side, but the VA mortgage is not broken at all. The VA mortgage is in tip-top shape. So it remains one of the strongest home financing options here in the area. Things like benefits like no down payment purchases and 100% cash out refinances. So check out Alabama Home Mortgage today. You can always call them direct at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies like Kim and Madeline. Prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. How to find the right mortgage lender. Most of all single-family sales involve obtaining a mortgage loan to finance the sale. How do you know you have the right lender? First, always use a local lender. There is no out-of-state lender that can match the services and the interest prices your local lender can provide to you here. We have many good quality lenders to choose from here in the River Region. Some guidelines for a buyer would be, 1, can I meet face-to-face with the lender, get to know that person before I turn over all my personal information to a complete stranger? Next, depending on your needs and price range, try to get more than one option with financing to choose from. Very important to know what are all the closing costs and prepaid costs up front so I can make an informed decision on which program to use. For help with a list of top lenders, call Bo Goodson for help. Bo Goodson, 221-2883 at the Goodson Group.
Looking for insurance, or maybe you're just not satisfied with your current carrier? How does quality coverage with local service and competitive rates sound to you? The folks at Stark Agency offer just that. Whether you need insurance for your business, car, home, or life, Stark Agency can help. As an independent insurance agency with over 20 of the top insurance carriers, Stark is sure to find the perfect match for you and your loved ones. Visit their site at starkagency.com or give them a call at 334-263-5535 for a quote today.
This is your roving reporter. Today I'm talking with a man from outer space.
What's up, Earthling?
I see you've landed your spacecraft over there in that field.
That's right, man.
My question is, why have you landed here on our planet?
I came to see David Ernest.
The asset preservationist?
Yeah, man. I wanted to see if he would take a look at my portfolio for me.
Well, before you make the trip over there, call him on his toll-free number, 833-596-7233.
And I understand those last 4 digits spell out the word safe.
That is correct. Funny thing happened the last time I came to Earth. What was that? I went to the Walmart, man. Yes. And I accidentally went in the back door. How did that work out? Well, they stopped me and very gently told me that I needed to go around front and come in. And then what did you do? I said, cool, man. Take me to your greeter. You flew millions of miles just for that. Hey, man, I don't write them. I just read them.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
Maybe you're doing well in sales, but you're ready for something bigger. At Blue Water Broadcasting, you'll help local businesses grow with customized marketing campaigns that combine the reach of 7 radio stations with powerful digital solutions. We're looking for someone who enjoys meeting people, earning their trust, and delivering results. If you're driven, professional, and ready to build a career, not just another sales job, we should talk. Visit BlueWaterBroadcasting.com and send me your resume today. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines.
Truckers, listen up. A $2,500 sign-on bonus only at Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Work for a company that puts God and family first. 855-777-9785. Wiley Sanders Truck Lines.
Rich Thomas Weather.
We now have, for the first time this summer, an extreme heat warning. That is a dangerous category higher than a heat advisory. In fact, in some spots, the heat index could reach 113 today. With the actual high temperatures teetering close to 100 today, tomorrow, and probably Wednesday as well. Lows at night in the upper 70s. And any random storms that do pop up will be few and far between, unfortunately. Take it easy, slow down, and stay hydrated. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Trustworthy, accurate, immediate. Carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Roger. Hey, Roger, how are you?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm in air conditioning at the moment anyway.
Yeah, well, that's a good plan on a day like today.
Yeah. The question that I have is, I've heard this from a report before. Have you ever heard of Ben David?
Ben David?
Yeah. He's one of those guys that tells things on about. Anyway, what it is, he reported that Iran is threatening the people, the countries around it, and that'd be affecting the United States, about cutting the underground lines that goes through the strait. And therefore, they got him in a tight, and that's the reason they're pushing to protect them somewhat over there. India would be affected a big time because of the data sources. Takes about 3 months to fix one after they tear it up. But
and
anyway,
you're talking about Patrick Bet David?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I know who you're talking about as a source. Probably a pretty good one, and that makes a lot of sense that they're doubling down on sort of the choke point strategy, and it's freaking everybody out.
Yeah, and I think that's holding back our group. Trump doing anything right off the bat. But, I mean, the people, Egypt and all the rest of the countries out there are pushing him all to hold off, you know. Just a thought. I don't know where I've heard it anywhere else.
No, that makes a lot of sense to me, and I like Patrick Bet Dave. He was, in fact, the guy who was moderating that Candace Owens-Andrew Wilson debate. He'll talk to anybody, really.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate the call, Roger. Thank you, sir.
I just thought where you could confirm it or not.
I can't confirm it as, like, I know for a fact that's what the Iranians are planning, but my take is that sounds pretty plausible to me.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. 272-9228, 334-272-9228. But, in response to a lot of this era of distrust, and especially when the only thing you trust is your distrust, it's good to be reminded not to despair. I did that for much too long in my life. I would give myself over to despair, and I have to admit I constantly fight against it. Well, just more BS from another day. And here's the Vice President of the United States reminding us, actually, we got a bright future ahead.
But I'm fundamentally hopeful about our country. I think we're going to figure it out. I think we're going to have a better next generation than this generation. The best weapon the opposition has is to allow the people in this room, the people listening to this podcast, to get depressed. Despair is a sin. And despairing is exactly where they want us to be. The country's not going to be saved by people who are depressed and have given up. It's going to be saved by people who believe in the future. So believe in the future. I certainly do, and we're not going to win without it.
Yeah, we'll see. But when you look at voter turnout numbers, I think there are a lot of people that are demoralized. I think there are a lot of people who are distrustful and have decided just to put their head down and keep on trucking. And this shows up not only in like political narratives and conversations, it's showing up in the economy. Again, it's one thing to despair. It's another thing to recognize the real problems or recognize that a lot of people are despairing, are depressed, are not feeling like there's a lot of opportunity out there. And I think Vance understands this. The more real problems are not solved, the more you're going to allow the socialist types to actually get a foothold. Because, this is just history at this point. So here's an example of the economic, say, depression that we're seeing. No, we're not technically in a depression, but it does feel like a strange time. For instance, young men. Male Gen Zers, even younger than me, have been dropping out of the labor pool in droves. And experts warn that the spread of artificial intelligence could accelerate the ugly trend even further. Let me ask ChatGPT about that. Last month, the U.S. unemployment rate, the percentage of Americans who are jobless and actively looking for work, dipped down to 4.1%, its lowest level of the year and well below the 5.6 average since the end of World War II. But there's a grim corollary to the rosy-looking numbers. Also in July, the labor force shrank by more than 250,000 people versus a year earlier, hitting its lowest levels since the pandemic. One key point of worry, the share of men aged 16 to 24 participating in the labor market dipped to 56.1%, tumbling nearly 13 percentage points from 69% in 2000. According to data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. What's more, the share of young unemployed men who are not looking for work at all has doubled since the 1990s to 8%, according to Ben Smith, head of research at the American Institute for Boys and Men. The last figure raises concerns that a growing number of young men in the U.S. are struggling to leave the nest, and the question of why has become an increasing point of concern for economists and social advocates alike. Artificial intelligence has already been cited in 184,000 layoff announcements since 2023. According to one firm, while tech leaders have argued that AI will create new jobs in the long term, the new technology is widely expected to disrupt entry-level roles in fields like tech, finance, and manufacturing. Smith warned that the effects of AI are uncertain. But if it substitutes for those jobs entirely, men and occupations they tend to be in are more susceptible to being displaced by AI. Maria Flynn, chief executive of nonprofit Jobs for the Future, said entry-level hiring is being hit at retail, at factories, and across a swath of white-collar jobs that young men used to enter en masse. And then keep in mind how many folks are applying for the H-1B visas to bring folks in who aren't even American to find folks to work. The longer the individual sits out of the labor market, particularly early in their career, the harder it is for them to build the skills network and the work experience that really shapes earnings in future decades. The stats for young men look dire versus other key groups. Over the same 26-year span, labor force participation actually increased for those 65 and over to 19.2% in July from 12% in the year 2000. Men aged 25 to 54 saw just a 2.9 percentage point drop over the same period, while men 55 and over saw a slight increase. Women ages 16 to 24 also saw a drop, though not as much as men, while all other women age groups saw an increase. So the ladies are working. Indeed, women now hold slightly more jobs than men in the U.S. for the third time in history, according to a survey by the Indeed Hiring Lab. And that gap is only expected to widen further. More women are in the workforce than men. Meanwhile, for men 16 to 24, the NEET rate, those who are not in education, not employed, and not in training, has risen. That's N-E-E-T, NEET, has risen to 12% from a rate of 10% in the 90s. While the NEET rate for women is similar, it's the result of a sharp drop over the same time period. It's a far cry from 1990, when men held nearly 7 million more jobs than women. The real concern among researchers is the smaller subset of male NEETs who are not working or looking for work at all, and why they've stopped trying. And by the way, you wonder why more people aren't getting married and starting families. And as much as I think there are women who say, well, I'm with the times and I'll marry a guy and support him and stuff, and I'm sure there are a few of you who will, I think there are a lot of women who are working who don't want some guy who ain't. But Gen Z has already established itself as pessimistic and skeptical of capitalism, which is an unfortunate reality. A new CNBC poll showed that more than half of Americans between the ages of 18 and 34 now favor democratic socialism, because probably don't know what it is. Some Gen Zers are turning to trade work as they grow fearful that AI will wipe out white-collar jobs. So the vice president understands the deeper issue, but how are we actually going to solve it is the question. Don't despair. It is a sin. Don't get depressed. Actually, pick yourself up. And I'd imagine if you start to create new opportunities, people will rise to the occasion. But the way we're being sold on the data centers and the AI, is it actually going to produce the fruit they're promising? Or are all these nerds that run the big tech folks, are they actually out of touch with everyday people? I think the answer is obvious, but that's what's coming. Like, in fact, I see a headline: Axios will partner with OpenAI, who runs ChatGPT, to write local news. Oh, yay. ChatGPT had to report a Goldman Sachs analyst to the FBI for horrifying conversations. And one story that got a lot of people's interest going, and people being pretty vicious about it, Coach Tuberville says he likes to talk to ChatGPT on long drives. So we'll get into the whole AI data center thing in the final hour. But of course, there's a Kentucky farm owner who had a 6-word response after being offered $26 million to build data centers on some of his land. So this is going to be an ongoing struggle. How do you actually get Americans working again? But more importantly, how do you actually get Americans hopeful again? And I would say hopeful beyond who they vote for, hopeful that they can actually make do in their everyday lives. And it's one thing to despair about politics, go back and forth, because that's just the nature of the business. But if you're really worried about just building a life, starting a family, that's the stuff of revolutions. And it's not like the revolutions actually solve the problems. Anyway, we'll be right back after this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Trust is the number one reason why a patient chooses a healthcare provider. Adams Drugs has been your trusted healthcare provider since 1962 and has been voted the number one pharmacy in the River region for many years. We strive each and every day to provide you the level of healthcare you have come to expect from Adams Drugs. The employees at Adams Drugs take pride in developing relationships with their patients, from making sure your prescriptions are filled correctly to getting to know you and your family's needs and following up on any questions you may have. Adams Drugs employees deliver top-notch service. We ask you to visit us at any of our locations in Montgomery, Prattville, Wetumpka, Millbrook, and Pine Level Marbury and give us a chance to earn your business. You can find us at adamsdrugs.net for the location that is nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local, independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center at 8161 Vaughan Road. You know, with over 30 years experience in natural wellness, I've seen countless health fads come and go. A few years ago, we added a patented technology that actually activates your stem cells. It reverses the aging process at the cellular level. However, you do need proper hydration and targeted nutrition. At the Herb Shop, our advanced scanning and testing technology allows us to accurately assess your nutritional needs and get a customized plan for you. Come in today and see what the Herb Shop can do for you.
In August, buy any large pizza at Pizza Perfect and get any medium pizza for just $2. Pizza Perfect's buffet includes pizza as well as spaghetti, breadsticks, salad, dessert, and drink for only $13. $12 for seniors, first responders, and military. The buffet is available Monday through Saturday for lunch and for dinner on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. Pizza Perfect is also available for pickup and delivery. Any medium pizza is just $2 with the purchase of a large at Pizza Perfect on Coliseum Boulevard in Eastbrook.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Go right to the phones and talk to Michael Cohen with Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Hey, Michael, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Glad to be a man with a job after looking at these labor market stats.
Yeah, and I'm one of the few guys that I can play Pac-Man or Galaga, but the rest of these video games, it's not me.
Yeah, I don't play video games anymore. It's been a while.
Yeah. But that seems like that's what all the men are doing, or the kids today are doing.
Yeah, well, it does distract for a time, I suppose.
Right.
Yeah, but go walk outside by yourself and just think for a while, young man. You might figure some things out. It maybe is just that simple. But but there's nothing wrong with actually enjoying some Galaga, say, on a big screen TV, or enjoying everything in moderation, so to speak.
That's right. And, a lot of these TVs have a cool feature called screen mirroring.
Yeah.
Where everybody that wants to live on their phone, you can actually live on your phone and actually see it on your new 75-inch or 85 or 65-inch television.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, and that way you could, say, hey, honey, look at this. And you can throw it up there on the screen.
That's right. That's right. Lots of cool things that we can do with televisions today.
And then, of course, I don't want to miss out on the appliance side of the store. So y'all have all sorts of options. Like, say I need a new refrigerator. You've got all sorts of models.
We've got refrigerators that are what I call the old style, the over and under with the freezer on the top.
Yeah.
We've got freezers on the bottom. We've got side by side. We've got refrigerator only units. And sometimes people buy a huge refrigerator only. They put it beside a freezer that's all freezer, and then it looks like a side-by-side, but it's huge.
Ooh. Now that's...
So it doesn't fit in your normal 36-inch hole that most kitchens have, but if you've got more area, I think it's probably needs about 60 inches, and you can have a huge... it looks like a poor man's Sub-Zero.
That's pretty awesome. And
yeah.
And, of course, say somebody stops by and they have questions about, well, how much can I fit in my area, in my kitchen? Y'all are going to be able to find the exact right product.
Well, that's the biggest thing that we do. I do notice that sometimes a customer gets a little frustrated with all the questions that we ask, but we have to ask the questions so that we know exactly what the customer needs are, and in this situation, what actually will fit, because sometimes we want things that aren't what we really need, and we just want to make sure everybody knows all the ins and outs so that we can help you make the right choice, because there's a ton of options out there.
So, folks, y'all get by there, and you can shop online at thinkowens.com, but I really encourage you to stop by, meet Michael in person, see these great products in person at 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. They're open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. and find Michael and be like, I heard you with that working man, Joey Clark, on the radio.
That's right. There's not many of us left, is there?
No, especially the younger guys. Yeah, they got to get
Yes, yeah.
Got to get them
Everybody looking for their sugar mama.
Hey, man, if you go get a job, you can get an even bigger TV and play video games at night.
That's exactly right.
You can afford it.
Until she tells you she wants to watch some reality TV of Teen Mom.
Oh, goodness. Or the latest serial killer documentary. What is it with the latest?
That's right.
That stuff. Man.
That's right.
Anyway.
All right. Y'all have a great day. Come see us. Let us help you make the right choice for whatever your needs are.
Appreciate you, Michael. Final hour coming up, and yeah, Coach Somerville says he likes to talk to ChatGPT on long car rides as he's going up and down the state, getting to know folks. Well, let's get into that and a few other AI stories after the break.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. The White House is ordering a major reduction in military drill.
hoping someday she'll forget about you. She'll forget about all your lies for her own slice of truth. I swear I miss you from happy days past, back when I always thought love would always last. Oh, I hope heaven, oh, I hope heaven, oh, I hope heaven finds you. Someday I'll call you. Someday we'll try to reconcile all the days that we let slip by. I'll try to forgive you, but I'll never forget. I learned my lessons from all your regrets. So I hope heaven, oh, I hope heaven, oh, I hope heaven finds you. Oh, heaven finds you. Oh, yes I do. Oh, heaven finds you.
Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's Conversational Radio Show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. And the headline reads here from thehill.com, Tuberville says he likes to talk to ChatGPT on long drives. United States Senator Tommy Tuberville, but around these parts we call him Coach, said Friday that he likes to talk ChatGPT to pass time on long car drives across his home state. The Alabama Republican who's running for governor revealed to the Washington Post Friday that he talks with the popular chatbot about questions regarding Medicare and Medicaid. He will also listen as the chatbot's voice talks back to him in the car. Well, isn't that how a conversation goes, and that's how a chatbot would work? It's kind of like you can sit there and talk to an expert, Tuberville said. You don't know whether or not they're 100% correct, but they put you on the right path. Now, the reaction to all this on social media, I have to say, This state, in particular, has been asleep with Mima at the helm, especially the last few years. We've been asleep, especially the more Hicklib media that really isn't even native to the state, but they claim to be. They've been asleep. I think we've all, even the right-wing stuff, we've all been a little, Grandma's kind of boring, man. I think that's about to change with Coach Tuberville, because even something as normal as this, that Coach Tuberville would talk to ChatGPT in his car, like, okay, the technology's existed for a while now. It's gotten better. There are a lot of people that talk to these things, especially if you want to talk about a certain topic and you want to learn a few things. And again, as Coach said, you don't take it as 100% correct, but they at least are given some starters and some ideas about this stuff. So I guess it's a bad thing to use the new technology, or is it a good thing? Or, well, of course, there's all sorts of folks who use it up there in the Senate and the House. They cleared staffers last year in the Senate and the House, and staffers and actual members of Congress to utilize certain chatbots, Copilot, ChatGPT, Gemini, and in the House, Claude. According to a study of House disbursement records on CNBC. ChatGPT remains the top paid tool the House uses, and spending by Democrats is 3 times that of Republicans. Other congressional members have more relaxed policies around generative AI, with Representative Anna Paulina Luna brushing off an incident with her office's usage. The mishap occurred when a staffer pasted a Claude-generated answer into the public record of the National Defense Authorization Act. A lot of staff will use ChatGPT, Claude, Grok. I personally like Grok better, but my staff prefers Claude. I'm not going to knock him for that. There's nothing illegal about him doing a summary, Representative Luna said. The Congressional Research Service outlined some potential uses for AI for federal agencies in Congress, including for office tasks such as creating and summarizing content, writing speeches, and drafting bills. It still warned that there are potential risks such as confabulation or hallucination, which might lead to the tools generating and amplifying misinformation or being used to create and spread disinformation. Yeah, but what if they get really clever at it? So imagine, folks, a chatbot built to keep you talking a little longer. Imagine it. To change your mind about something or persuade you to buy something. Now imagine it could draw on everything it knows about you, including the fears, insecurities, and private details you shared in a conversation to do it. Today, few rules directly govern that scenario, making AI companies' promises about how they use consumer data especially consequential. AI companies are seeking access to data beyond the chat window. OpenAI last week announced an optional computer history feature that lets ChatGPT retain a record of the apps and websites a person uses. Google, meanwhile, last month it will use photos and other material people upload through search to train its AI systems by default, though users can opt out. The upside is the potential for more useful, personalized AI. The trade-off is giving companies a broader and more continuous view of users' lives. Chatbots can invite a kind of disclosure that search engines and social networks often do not. People use them to ask about health, money, work, and relationships, potentially creating a more intimate record of their concerns. Meta, Google, and OpenAI are all exploring different approaches to advertising on their chatbots. If consumer AI follows the path of search and social media, advertising could become a far more significant part of the business, creating an incentive for chatbot makers to increase engagement. The AI era will increasingly be fueled by people voluntarily handing over their full digital lives to AI tools that promise to relieve their mental load or loneliness. That's from Miranda Bogan, Chief Technologist at the Center for Democracy. The more a system knows about you, the easier it will be to make escalating requests for private details in a way that feels natural. But it won't feel natural. Without robust privacy protections, the incentive to monetize that knowledge will be hard to resist. Company policies vary considerably. Apple, for example, offers the most private options with Apple Intelligence requests on a user's device, though Apple Intelligence is not intelligent. Just not. But Meta, by contrast, stakes a far broader claim to user data in its privacy policy. The company says it can use interactions with Meta AI to personalize content and ads across its services, including some interactions through its smart glasses. So other AI services fall somewhere between Apple's, say, device-centered approach and Meta's broader data use policy. Some offer temporary chats that are not used for memory or model training. There are services that only train on user data if users give permission, while others require a person to opt out to avoid having their data used for training. So, again, this new technology is slowly but surely, it's in the halls of Congress. It's in your law office. It's everywhere. I use it myself. But I've noticed using it myself that you need to be wary of how much you let it lead you, because it will try to lead you. It will certainly try to lead you by the nose and give suggestions and all sorts of stuff. So you might want to be, if you are going to use it, guarded. Now, you could say, why should I even use this thing at all? Well, fair enough. I'm saying you got to, but it's coming. But anyway, I think the era of Alabama being asleep is over, because Coach Tuberville saying, I talked to ChatGPT in the car, the libs just go nuts about it. Like anything Coach Tuberville does. Like, I ate a steak last night. They're going to freak out about it. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Like when he actually has to do policy stuff, it's going to be Tuberville derangement syndrome. I suspect it's coming. I mean, they already have all their taglines, like their Florida man stuff and whatnot. But, yeah, the hick lib left here in the state of Alabama, they're ready to go for Coach Tuberville. And, well, I think it's just going to wake everybody up, and ain't nothing wrong with that. Now, this story, I saw a little bit in passing earlier today, another story from Craig Monger at 1819 News. And this is something we've been talking about, actually, a little while. For years, in fact, I've been saying this is probably coming. The Birmingham Veterans Affairs Health System was recently announced as one of the 5 sites participating in a new clinical trial to evaluate the effectiveness and safety of psilocybin to treat major depression in veterans. Psilocybin is the chemical compound most commonly found in psychedelic mushrooms, often referred to as quote-unquote magic mushrooms. The compound has varying effects on the person taking it, but it most commonly causes feelings of euphoria, visual and auditory distortions, hallucinations, and distorted perceptions of time and spatial awareness. The drug was classified as a Schedule I controlled substance by Congress in 1970, and it continues with that classification under the purview of the DEA. However, under an executive order from President Trump called the Accelerating Medical Treatments for Serious Mental Illness, psilocybin, and a handful of other psychedelics and other psychoactive compounds, such as LSD and MDMA, are getting expedited testing through the FDA for their effectiveness in treating mental illness, especially among veterans. The study will be conducted on veterans with major depression, including those with concurrent post-traumatic stress disorder. The Birmingham VA healthcare system is committed to exploring every evidence-based avenue to improve the mental health and well-being of the veterans we serve, said Dr. Lottie Kokoyi, something like that, Executive Director, CEO at Birmingham VA Healthcare System. By participating in this trial, our facility is helping advance innovative research into new treatment options that may offer meaningful relief for veterans, both here in central and northern Alabama and across the country. The VA's trial, titled Psilocybin Intervention for Veterans Overcoming Treatment-Resistant Depression, is a randomized controlled trial that will compare outcomes between 2 psilocybin dosages. The study will measure effectiveness by comparing participants' level of depression before and after treatment. It will also assess PTSD symptom severity, tolerability of side effects, and overall patient-reported depression. In addition to psychological effects such as hallucinations, paranoia, and enhanced anxiety, users can also experience physiological side effects like high blood pressure, increased heart rate, dizziness, muscle weakness, and more. The VA has pledged to mitigate these risks by administering the drugs in a controlled environment. The health and safety of veterans who choose to participate in this trial is VA's top priority. The VA said investigational treatments will be delivered in a safe, controlled clinical setting using pharmaceutical-grade drugs under carefully quality controls, stringent safety protocols that were developed with FDA in a setting that includes psychological support. Yeah, I mean, my sense of this is it's a shame this stuff was just thrown in the purely illegal, no benefit at all. And thus it became sort of the magic mushrooms, man, and the counterculture thing and the psychedelic thing. Whereas if it had instead been studied in a much more serious way, you might actually start to understand what this does for the brain. Because there's a lot of interesting things that people have experienced on it. Been able to change habits, essentially rewire how people think in a positive way. But more studies underway, and we'll see if they actually come up with something, especially for veterans that are really in a tough spot. Anything that works. I agree with the president allowing at least the research and the trials to go forward. Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, Joey, it's Charles the First.
Hey, Charles.
Well, I'm having dilemmas with AI. Okay.
All right.
And you're the perfect person to talk to. I guess by talking to me throughout the couple of years that you have, you realize that my writing is very important to me.
Yeah.
And that my discovery of things that are unknown myself is very important to me.
Mm-hmm.
And you're from Andalusia, aren't you?
My family is.
Your family is, okay. So that's where I graduated. And Ed Richardson was our principal back then in 1979. And for my original creative writing, I was voted on by the entire Andalusia High School staff for the first time since 1967 to win for best, most original creative writing. Okay?
Nice. Okay.
Now, and when I was 12 years old, they asked us to write poetry, and I did, and they thought that I didn't write it. So they made me go in a room and write what they told me to so they could see that I wrote perfect iambic pentameter poetry. Got me?
Yeah. It was kind of like a Finding Forrester scene.
Yes, and they made me the Andalusia Star News person with junior ROTC when I was 14 years old because I took the ASVAB and made so good on vocabulary and writing. Okay. So here I am, and I'm up here in North Alabama, and I call a radio station. And, I send you little snippets and stuff that, Joey, I wrote those lyrics. I didn't say prompt write a lyric. I might say beats per minute and all that, right?
Right.
Well, this girl that answers the phone up here, that's a little college-age girl, says, Charles didn't write it. The prompt wrote those. Have you got me? Like, she says AI's doing all his stuff. As far as even my math and my things. And here's the thing. The Quora wants to vet you or whatever, okay? And all my stuff is time-stamped before an AI that I wrote it. Have you got me, Joey?
Yeah.
This is frustrating me terribly.
Well, I've been accused of my writings AI and that stuff too, which it's not. With the music stuff I do, I always write the lyrics. And I usually use an initial, not just a word prompt, but an initial, say, musical idea or record an acoustic guitar or something into it. But I'm happy to be upfront about what is AI and what's being used for AI. And I often use AI for quick research, and then you double check the sources it actually points towards. And then kind of analysis and review. So say you do write something and you want to say, does the logic here make sense compared on past things I've written? What's quality control sort of checks. But a major thing is you never let it write for you. Now, I can see some people letting it write for you if it's very technical things. It's not creative in any way. But in my mind, you can really tell when something is AI because the AI still can't really do the... Like if you told it to write perfect iambic pentameter, it could technically do that, but it would come across as like a machine wrote it.
Well, what I do is I say correct my spelling and punctuation. Or if I made some type of error, correct that. You get me? Or I have a complete, absolute, my own concept AI would never come up with that I put in and say, re-relate this to me as I have just stated it to you so a person of this particular intelligence would understand it.
Sure.
And so that's getting this little college person up here who's just being very snitty as me as a caller. And
well, it sounds like it's bringing up like some childhood It's crap.
Well, it is. I mean, it is, and it's bringing up something with her too. I think, like she's got some kind of issues, and between us both, we got issues.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't like being when I've done it. You get what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
The whole you didn't do it when you know that you did.
Well, I mean, that's where we're going, man. And I would say just on a personal basis, just build yourself up, create some fortitude, knowing that those sorts of accusations are going to keep coming, especially if you actually have done something intelligent that's, say, smarter than the average person at least, and maybe even smarter than that. And people are going to react to that, say, well, no way so-and-so could have done it, and that sucks, that disbelief's out there. But because there is so much AI slop, people are going to tend towards that.
Well, my patent stuff was time-stamped a long time ago before there was ever an AI. But I did have the AI say, are my things correct mathematically? And abundantly, it says absolutely. So I have proof because for a timestamp, you can't change it.
Yeah, and it's always, it's interesting.
How do I deal with the radio person, or do I just stop listening to their show?
I mean, that's kind of a personal decision, man. That's up to you. If you feel disrespected and like you don't want to work with them, like, I mean, that's your choice. It could be you want to try to break through. I don't know. Like, I'm happy to tell you to show some grace to everybody, even folks that are falsely accusing you. But if it's not worth your time, it's not worth your time, and you got to make that choice.
Well, thanks a whole lot, Joy, and everybody have a great day and everything. Thanks for hearing me out about that.
Thanks, Charles. No, that's got to smart. Like, you really do actually the work yourself, and then somebody just goes, yeah, you didn't do that. Kind of a ready-made excuse that's been built up. Now, sticking to the AI component, OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, reported a 25-year-old South Palm Beach man to the FBI after he shared details about what he was going to do to his ex-girlfriend with ChatGPT. I'm going to kill her by the end of this month, Darren Zhao told the chatbot. If I can't have her, then nobody can. Oh, my. That's a tale as old as time, ain't it? Investigators said Zhao, a since-fired Goldman Sachs analyst, so I imagine he's slightly lacks social skills, turned to ChatGPT in March to discuss his recent breakup with the girlfriend of 6 months. By the way, there's a pattern to all these crazy stories. When people turn to these things to, like, give them emotional support or spiritual insight or... you're making a big mistake there. This ain't human. It ain't your buddy. If you actually have emotional issues, like you just broke up with this girl that you seemed obsessed with, you need to talk to an actual human being. In particular, a dude that's like, hey, let's stop talking about that. Let's go drink some beer and ride a jet ski or watch some football or just come over here and help me fix the fence, dadgummit, even though the fix doesn't need fixing. Like, you need actual human contact when you're in a place like this. And the problem is, a lot of folks don't have that. They don't have the people they can lean on. And so they turn to these bots. And it usually doesn't end well. So what he told the chatbot is he recounted the ex-girlfriend's hobbies, the places she frequented, his jealousy of the men around her, and his desire to get back together. Investigators say the messages quickly turned to threats of rape, murder, and murder-suicide. Oh, my. Zhao told ChatGPT he planned to wait in the parking lot of the woman's gym with flowers in hand. If she rejected his offering, Zhao said he would draw a gun off her and then off himself. My God. In another conversation, he said he would violate her with that gun, too. He wrote in a subsequent messages that he planned to force her at gunpoint to drive to his home in South Palm Beach, where he would assault her and hold her hostage. This guy is absolutely unhinged. I can see why she broke up with him. He told the chatbot he'd bought an AR-15 style rifle, a Glock handgun, and a 12-gauge shotgun, and that he'd sent his girlfriend photos of his guns zip ties, and latex gloves. Okay, if you're telling this to the AI, I think this is a good policy going forward. If you start telling this sort of stuff to the AI, they should contact the police. They have a duty to contact the police. Federal agents turned over 2 months of Zhao's chat logs to the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office in May, by which point Zhao's targets had grown to include the young woman's family. So he's just becoming more deranged and violent in his own imagination. A deputy who reviewed the logs, which include only Zhao's messages, not ChatGPT's responses, said they weren't vague emotional outbursts, but instead showed a pattern of rehearsal and planning. And again, people would do this sort of stuff. It's a story as old as time. Like resentment and wrath and lust and all these different, all the 7 deadly sins, they've been around since the beginning. People didn't need the reinforcement. We kind of came by it naturally after the fall. But now that you have this thing that talks back to you, and I would want to see what the chatbot actually said, because I worry that some of these things are going to get so personalized they actually encourage this sort of behavior. But deputies performed a welfare check on the girlfriend, a 21-year-old from Lake Worth Beach. She said she'd broken up with Zhao over his erratic, jealous, and controlling behavior. Yeah, there you go. And did so over the phone because she feared how he would react. Since the breakup, the woman said Zhao dogged her with calls, text, and social media messages, pressing her about comments that a man left on her TikTok videos. He accused her of moving on quickly and ignored her repeated requests that he not contact her again. She blocked him on a Thursday, and by Friday, he texted from a different number apologizing for overwhelming her. He did the same thing through Instagram, where she soon blocked him too. Investigators said Zhao continued to call and text his ex from various app-generated phone numbers. She took screenshots of the messages, many of which were harassing, insulting, sexual, and threatening. Can't wait to see you later tonight, wink emoji. He texted on her 21st birthday. Can't wait to smell you. My God, lock this guy up. I know we got the first minute right, but if you're texting your ex all sorts of harassing things and you say, I can't wait to smell you, right to jail. I don't know how long the sentence will be, but okay, inviting him to watch football or fix the fence ain't going to fix him. Prison will fix him. Prison and her exorcist or something. The woman told deputies her lingering feelings for Zhao, along with her misguided hope that he would stop harassing her if she ignored him long enough, had prevented her from reporting him. Girl. Oh, you should have reported sooner. While she was screenshotting messages and blocking their senders, Zhao was confiding again in ChatGPT. She hasn't received any of the threats, etc. Of course, his defense attorney says he's not a violent person, but he was arrested in May by sheriff deputies. He spent 2 days in Palm Beach County Jail before posting $100,000 bail. Assistant State Attorney Anna Kuskova charged him in June with aggravated stalking, written threats to kill, and illegal use of a cell phone. Felonies punishable up to 25 years in prison. Yeah, it's a pretty good amount of time. Zhao pleaded guilty to all three on August 13th after negotiating a deal with Kuskova that spared him both from prison and felony conviction. Yeah, well, just give him another chance. Circuit Judge Scott Suskauer, what is with these judge names in Florida, speaking from the bench, said he only accepted the deal because Zhao's ex-girlfriend had approved it. Girl, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why did you approve it? This is not going to end well. In accordance with the agreement, the judge withheld adjudication and sentenced Zhao to 8 years of probation, during which he must abide by a slew of restrictions. Zhao will be outfitted with an ankle monitor for the first 2 years. He must also complete a battered intervention program, undergo a mental health evaluation, and avoid drugs, alcohol, guns, and contact with his ex. Failure to do so could send him back to court. Yeah, let's just run the experiment. Before passing the sentence, the judge counseled Zal on what to do in the event of another breakup. Get over it and move on, he said. In another case, the judge told a depressed person, hey, just cheer up. Turn that frown upside down. There are other people in the world, the judge said to him. You understand me? No one deserves the type of conduct that you exposed this lady to. I don't know if that's going to do it, Judge. Asked why prosecutors agreed to spare Zal a felony conviction, State Attorney's Office spokesperson Mark Freeman pointed to the many factors that can influence any case outcome: strength of evidence, victim cooperation, prior criminal history, and statutory limitations. He did not specify which factor drove the resolution in this case, but said the decision was made by experienced prosecutors. This just seems like prelude to something really awful happening. I'm sorry. Zal's attorney, Stephen Bell, called it an extremely fair and just resolution. He pointed to the fact that Zal graduated magna cum laude from Northeastern University in Boston and had no prior criminal record. He also didn't own firearms, Bell said, despite his messages suggesting otherwise. He's not a violent person. He's not a bad person, Bell said. He went through just a very difficult mental health episode, and he's doing unbelievable now. Doing unbelievable. Joey, how you doing? Unbelievable. That can mean a lot of things, folks. Anyway, I think if you're confiding in your chatbot about how you're going to murder your ex-girlfriend, yeah, you should get a knock on the door from sheriffs. Goodness gracious. Like I was saying last week, this technology is just going to take what has always existed in the world and set it on fire with straight gasoline. Putting lighter fluid, doing it to it like lighter fluid. That's what AI is doing to the unhinged. Anyway, 272-9228. That's 334-272-9228. How about a palate cleanser real quick? I need one. This is from Nobunaga. At 3:15 a.m. during a thunderstorm in Alabama, the county grid failed. The highway went pitch black. The only sign of human life was the yellow neon roof of a Waffle House, humming through the gale. Inside, 2 kerosene lanterns flickered on the stainless steel counter. The cast iron flat top was hissing under generator power. A veteran waitress named Donna, wearing a hairnet and an apron that had clearly witnessed decades of heavy service, pushed a laminated menu towards me. Scattered, smothered, or covered, hun. I did not comprehend the vocabulary, but a traveler does not reveal uncertainty when shelter has been generously granted. I will accept all honorable preparations, I said calmly. Donna turned toward the grill without missing a beat. Pull 1 hash brown all the way. The cook smashed a mound of shredded potatoes onto the smoking steel, burying it under onion, sharp cheddar, chili, and gravy. One of Big Mac's favorites. The crust broke between my teeth with a dry, jagged crunch. It was salty, peppered, and entirely unrefined. It tasted like pure survival. When I pulled out my $10 bill at the register, Donna gently pushed my wrist back from the counter. Put it away, sugar. The flatbed driver who left 5 minutes ago covered your ticket. Said you look like you've been driving through the teeth of it. I looked out the window. Red taillights were disappearing into the sheet of dark rain. I never spoke to that man. I've never learned his name. Power grids may fail across the wilderness, but as long as Donna has propane, no traveling stranger in this country will ever face the night alone. Good to know that Alabama played a great role in the journeys of Nobunaga. Anyway, I'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
WAKA, Blue Water Broadcasting, Ty and Doll Incorporated, and Piggly Wiggly Food for Less invite you to help us stuff the truck on Saturday, August 22nd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Sturbridge Piggly Wiggly Food for Less. Donate non-perishable food, bathroom supplies, or cash to help local students facing food insecurity and support our teachers. Visit WAKA.com for a shopping list and stop by our community resource fair for valuable services and information for River Region families. Together, we can stuff the truck and strengthen our community.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center at 8161 Vaughan Road. You know, with over 30 years experience in natural wellness, I've seen countless health fads come and go. A few years ago, we added a patented technology that actually activates your stem cells. It reverses the aging process at the cellular level. However, you do need proper hydration and targeted nutrition. At the Herb Shop, our advanced scanning and testing technology allows us to accurately assess your nutritional needs and get a customized plan for you. Come in today and see what the Herb Shop can do for you.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. The use of the extreme heat warning is a first since this product debuted last year. It's a step higher than a heat advisory. It happens when expected heat indices go above 110. Tonight, the chances of one of those evening storms is almost zero, but not quite. Overnight low temperature down to about 78. Tomorrow, more extreme, dangerous heat. The actual high temperature near 100, but the heat index may be up to about 110. And still teasing the 100-degree mark on Wednesday as well. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Back to school shopping starts now, and ASC Credit Union has you covered. Our back to school loan helps you pay for supplies, laptops, clothes, and more. Stop by your local ASC branch or apply today at yourasccu.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go to some stupid political rhetoric, shall we? Now, one of the guys, and I've even said it, that seems to know how to give a good speech for the Democrats is that fella, that young fella, I think younger than me, Jon Ossoff. He's the current senator there. And he's been campaigning all around Georgia, and he gives these big stump speeches. And, well, at one point he threw a jab. Well, he threw many jabs at President Trump. But this one in particular made people go, huh? Who's Natalie?
And while the sailors on the Lincoln fight his war,
While he fruitlessly drains our munitions and oil reserves, the president sleeps through his meetings. He golfs and trades stocks. See, he doesn't want to do the job. He wants to build his ballroom and travel with Natalie on their apparently defenseless flying palace gifted by the Emir of Qatar.
Man, it's just like a series of memes strung together. Well, somebody asked Trump about that, what I just played. So here's what the president had to say.
John Ossoff said you'd rather travel with your aide, Natalie Harp, and build the ballroom than do your job as president. What is your response, John Ossoff?
You mean Pee Wee Herman? Pee Wee Herman lookalike? No, I would much rather do other things. We're building a great facility here. We're fixing a White House that hasn't been taken care of. You can look at this. This room was a disgraceful situation, the Oval Office, and it was let go. The whole building, the White House, was let go. The exteriors were falling apart. The columns were falling apart. The whole place was a mess. In addition, they've been trying to get a ballroom for the last 150 years. And when I said I was going to build a ballroom, the military asked if they could see me. And they say, sir, we have an opportunity to go down deep into the ground and build a military facility to go to the White House and to go with all of Washington, D.C., which would be so valuable. And then they came up with the drone port on top, which would be a major drone port to protect the White House and all of D.C. And all of those things added up, and it became much more than just a ballroom. And I said to myself, wow, what an opportunity. I mean, if I was just going to build a ballroom, I could have had it built very quickly, because I build very well and very quickly. We went 5 stories down into the ground. We did a lot of tremendous things for the military, things that they could never get. They said, this is an opportunity that we have because you're building the ballroom, that if you would be willing to spend more time, we would love to be able. We've been trying to do this at the White House for many, many years, and they've been trying to have a ballroom at the White House for many, many years. Now, what happened is we used to use tents, and the tents are usually made of either a plastic material, or canvas. And they wouldn't stop a .22 caliber. They wouldn't stop anything in terms of safety. It'd be very dangerous. And they haven't used a tent for years. They haven't had any big, like we have President Xi coming on September 24th or so. I think it's September 24th. And we'd love to have 2,000 people coming to dinner and celebrating a nice evening, et cetera, but we only have a room that's going to hold 89 people, and 89 people is not appropriate. So maybe more importantly, it's totally secure with bulletproof windows, bulletproof sides. It's drone-proof, it's missile, every at the top of the line. And we need it, and especially with what's happened, unfortunately, to the world, you could say.
So I think he actually has thought about it and is thinking about a lot of things beyond just what are the daily talking points the left can come up to make him seem either stupid or evil. But that's the nature of this case.
John Ossoff said you'd rather travel with your aide, Natalie Harp, and build the ballroom than do your job as president. What is your response, John Ossoff?
You mean Pee Wee Herman? Pee Wee Herman lookalike?
Pee Wee Herman is the nickname that Trump gave to that fella. 272-9228. Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Hola.
Hey, Eric. How are you?
I'm doing well, my amigo. You know, you were talking earlier about men in the workforce.
Yeah.
If you don't have a job, it's because you don't want one.
Yeah. There are plenty of jobs out there.
I've gone through a whole bunch of guys this year trying to get them to come out and work with me, and they're mostly 18, 19, 20-year-olds, and they really just want to check. They don't want to. They want to work hard. They don't want to show up on time. It's too hot. It's easier to sit at home and have somebody else take care of you. I don't wish that because I'm way past that. But I guess that's low expectation. It's good enough just to sit at home and play video games.
Why would I come out and help you paint some vehicle or automobile of some sort when I can stay at home? I can wake up. I can drink an energy drink. I can rip the bong. I could eat some Little Debbie snacks. I can play Mario Kart. I can jerk off, excuse me, pardon me, and then go back to the Mario Kart and the snacks. Maybe they need to correct the order. But doesn't that sound like a great, fulfilling day?
No. That not maybe when I was way younger, but even then, my parents kicked me out of the house and told me not to come back till the street lights come on, or not to come back home till they got off work. I mean, they gave me a lawnmower and a can of gas and told me go make some money.
Yeah. No, and like my folks at one point, I think I was 15 or 16 years old. My mother was like, "Leave the house and find a job. Don't come back if you don't find one." And guess where I found? Fun Zone.
There you go. See?
Like,
little motivation, little stiff boot to the posterior, get you motivated. I think that's a lot of the problem is, people, this younger generation, and I'm not one to pick at generations, but this age group of younger folks that's coming up, they do not have the work desire. I haven't seen it. And I mean, I'm sure there's exceptions, and this probably isn't indicative, but out of 8 people, I've only managed to be able to keep 3. And the other ones I've had to let go for performance or tardiness and not showing up, like not picking up what we're trying to teach them. And and then you get it's hot.
It is hot.
Well, yeah, but it's Alabama in the summertime. What do you think? I'm not advertising an office job here. And this is a skill set. It's just like anything that you're going to do blue collar, you're going to be hot 9 times out of 10.
Well, I did that some when I did 2 summers at Parks and Rec, and I always remember the second summer I was there, and it was in between going to Auburn, and
yes, sir.
I started that second summer, and they put me in a truck that was a ball field crew, and 3 black dudes and Joey, and this one guy comes over, white dude, who's in the weed eating truck. I'm sitting there at the shop before we go out, and it's the second day after they assigned me to the ball field crew, and already met the guys, already liked them, and this guy comes sauntering over, goes, "Young man, you ain't going anywhere if you stay in that truck." And I was like, "I'm going to Auburn, jackass! What is wrong with you?" I'm like, was that a racism or was that I don't know. There's more upward mobility at Parks and Rec if I weed eat instead of line ball fields. What the hell are you talking about, man?
You realize you're a 40 years old something man holding a weed eater 8 hours a day, telling me I'm not going anywhere.
Right, and there's no dishonor in weed eating and doing work for the city by any means. But dadgum, you find it everywhere. You just find it everywhere. You need to shape up, young man. You go away, dude.
Dude, if the kind of work that you set out to do, it ain't for you, that's fine. I can appreciate that, but don't phone it in. Don't try to take advantage of the job, and don't get out of the house, grow up, do something. Find something you like to do, and you won't work a day in your life. You'll have crappy days, but I mean, at the end of the day, find something you enjoy to do. Find something you can be proud of. Learn a skill. You can change jobs, but it's like I tell people, I was like, I'm not scared to find I'm not scared of losing a job because I was looking for one when I found this one, and I'm going to work. So I may not find the job I want, but I'll find one to get me by till I do.
Oh yeah, it's just there's so many depraved distractions out there. It's coming. It's I can't get a job. I've got a date with my robot girlfriend. She's so cute. She has cat ears, and you're like,
dude,
what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
A lot. Somebody's parents let them coddle them too much. That's
meow. Anyway, I got
to
talk to you later. Adios.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
We get this question all the time.
Do you handle that?
Buying or selling a home?
Yes.
Commercial?
Yes.
Land or investments?
Absolutely. Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. One team.
Every real estate move. 334-322-0000. 662.
This hour of News
Hey,
and Views
sure.
is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing,
Good.
279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Well, I guess y'all heard me saying, you ready to go? And Ray Bowles left my mic on. Oh, I'm glad I didn't say anything too dirty. Let's go to Ray Bowles on line one. Hey, Ray, how you doing?
That is so dangerous.
It is dangerous off air. Sometimes.
Yeah. You don't know what's going to be said.
Yeah. But how's it going there today at Prattville Carpet?
It's been, man, I've been busy. I look up and it's 3 o'clock and I'm like, man, it's one of those days I didn't eat again. It's been a great day. And Dad's off today. He don't take off a lot, but he had a little surgery. He had his wisdom teeth taken out.
Ooh.
He's 79 years old. I'm like, Dad, why would you not do that when you were 16? Because we were poor. Nobody took your teeth out unless they were just rotten out. Yeah, but that was it. Yeah. Oh.
Well, I wish
right
him
now,
well on that recovery.
I bet he's sleeping good right now.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if they gave him the good stuff when he came out of the surgery. He was a little loopy.
Oh, I think so, because the doctor told me he couldn't drive for at least 24 hours, and Mama said he couldn't drive for at least 48 hours. So I went and got his car. I'm riding around in his car today.
Yeah, I had a friend come out of one of those wisdom teeth surgeries. He was telling his mom he was a bootyologist. I don't know what that means, but I like it.
I don't remember mine at all, but I do remember the girls, and every one of them acted just about like you would think they would act. It was always a fun time getting the wisdom teeth out. But this dovetails with another thing. So Dad's not around, and that means I get to sell stuff where I want to sell it, start cheap. So if you're looking for a car, call us, a floor, call us at 285-8117. We'll be glad to come out and give you that free measurement. Next thing you know, you got a new floor down, just that simple.
Again, that's 285-8117. And be sure to tell them when you call them up at 285-8117, you heard Ray Bowles on the radio with that Joey Clark fella.
That's right. Have a great day.
Appreciate it, Ray. And I'm pretty much out of time. I guess happy hour's coming up, Greg and Tom. They're going to be hitting all sorts of things. But now what? We covered AI. We covered ladies with tattoos. Nancy Mace rocking with the guns out. She's got all that acreage with those tattoos now there. And well, we learned about AI and the depravities of AI, but also the advantages of AI. We learned about that some more. And I don't know if y'all know this, that I've been saying this for a while, but I would just like to reiterate, if it's allowed, Montgomery needs a new mayor. I think that'll help. Because, like, all these ideas are out there. Well, even if we need a convention center, or we need more police officers, or we need crime intervention, early crime intervention programs, or we need, like, get together and celebrate this great local small business. All this stuff, you need a city to do that stuff. But you know what? All that stuff, like across the board, all of the above would be better with a new mayor. It would. But we won't have a chance to decide on that until next year. Anyway, y'all stay tuned. Happy hour. They are next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WAC